How are you?
What's going on, Seth? What are you eating?
A summertime delight. A corn on the cob and a piece of chicken.
Oh my God, Seth. Can I tell you? I probably I'm such a fucking slob sometimes. I think corn on the cob might be my favorite. I can't say my favorite thing ever, but one of my favorite
Man.
things ever. It's probably in my top seven
Oh,
favorite
without
foods.
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It's
If
such a,
you
especially you put some butter and salt on it. Oh my God.
do you do the flaky salt yet?
What do you mean flaky salt? Like the Celtic salt?
I don't know if it's Celtic. I use this stuff called Maldon,
Hmm.
Maldon. It's like flaky salt I put on all my red meat.
Okay.
Bro.
Really?
Little expensive.
How do you spell it? Oh, you got the high class shit.
Oh, I went in. I put it on everything and it's delicious.
One second. One second. Is it this? Is it this stuff?
Yes. Yes.
Sea salt flakes?
Yes. Sea salt, dude. You
Eh,
start putting that on your steaks and red meat, change the world.
Dude, it's $10 for like 5 servings.
I told you it was a little bougie. It was a little bougie.
Where did Ian go? He just disappeared.
I don't know, but Seth is home down, not rich, but really rich because he's using $10 salt.
I use I use Redmond real salt, so I think I'm bougie.
What's red?
Listen. When it comes to like the red meat, like, dude, I don't know. I could maybe I'm over exact. I love it. I'm big salt guy, dude. I love salty shit though.
Okay,
Love
one
it.
second. One second. Mike, is this you use
Hold
this
on.
one?
Yeah, I use that.
Oh, I use fine salt. Hey, that ain't cheap neither.
But these are Canadian prices though. Let me say.
Ah,
Um, I just use regular like pink Himalayan, like the regular like grocery store. President's Choice is what it's called
So
here.
good, man.
You
So
know-
good, full of contaminants.
Full of contaminants. Fuck off. Ian, what's going on? How are you?
Plastic.
Ian, do you ever use
This motherfucker just eating some corn on the cob.
that's
here,
what
right?
that's what we're talking about. That's what we've been talking about. So
Crazy.
I said to Seth, I said, I think corn on the cob. Oh, watch this. Paul's for sure gonna hate it. Watch, guaranteed. Watch.
Oh.
Watch.
Eat it right now while he gets on. Just keep it in your mouth. Fuck, look at that hair, eh? Fuck, you gotta cut that hair, man.
Yeah. Paul, what do you think about the corn? Corn's delicious, right?
Corn on the cob?
Yeah.
No, I don't eat corn.
I knew it. Let me guess. It's too much work for too little reward.
What's the point of it? I'm gonna just get butter all over my face. There's nothing really to eat in there. It's
You're so fucking predictable now.
I'll take it as a side, like a little bit of like a cup of corn. I'll take it as
Oh,
a side.
you mean like if they take it off the cob?
Yeah.
Then there's no work involved. You just let it
Right.
scoop. Yeah.
Then
You just shovel it. You just shovel it into
right.
your mouth.
I can just mix it with everything else in the plate and just shove it in my mouth.
Okay.
I know it has
So you like the flavor of corn. You just don't like eating it
Well,
off the cob.
The flavor of corn, like I like
Pieces of
popcorn
cream?
and stuff like that.
How
Like
can
it's
you
not like
not
it's
how can you not like the flavor of corn? It's just
You
sugar.
like cream.
I like
corn?
it.
Like the canned cream corn.
when I used to like it when I was a kid. As gross as that shit is
I used to eat
now.
all kinds of
Really? Yeah. That is pretty nasty. What do they put in there anyways to make it like that?
Jizz.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I've never had that. I've only
You
had
never
like,
seen
You
cream
never
corn
had
before,
cream
Fouad?
corn?
no.
I think it's a
That
Canadian
comes in a
thing, too.
can.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got like a gravy almost in it.
No, I never
Yeah,
had it.
it literally is like fucking jizz. Mike's right. It's like thick, gelatinous, like white, like like
With
Yeah,
little
it's-
pieces of corn in your
I-
jizz.
I stick to the corn on
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
Fuck, look at you
I'd say-
mouthing
Look
through
at-
that.
look at that,
Look at
jeez.
Okay, can I
clean row you made.
Okay, can I tell you? Can I tell you
A
guys something?
fucking crop
So
circle.
before you guys got on here, I told Seth that I think corn might be like it's in my top 10. It might be like my 6th or 7th favorite food.
You like
Ever.
corn that much?
You're
Corn-
fucking crazy.
Corn on the cob with a little bit of butter and salt. Oh my! Listen. This is how gross I am. I bought so you go you buy shit from Costco. You can't buy one or two.
Right.
So I got
Right,
the pack. I got the pack of corn on the cob. There's 8 in there.
And they're huge.
So I boil them all because I'm like, what am I gonna do? They're gonna go bad. So I just boil them all, and then I'm like, well, now they're all boiled. I ate all of them. I ate all fucking
In
eight
one sitting.
in one sitting.
How much butter?
I didn't even use butter. I was like,
No?
it was so delicious. I just kept fucking mowing them.
I'm guilty of it, dude. Like I could probably diet through Thanksgiving and Christmas
Yeah.
better than I could through the summertime.
Yeah.
Barbecue chicken, burgers, corn on the cob, and watermelon. Like those are my
Yeah, but Seth,
like
you
watermelon.
forgot part of Thanksgiving is the corn and the mashed potatoes and the gravy.
I like it.
Hey, wait. Do you
No, Seth just wants his fried chicken and watermelon like the fucking
Real barbecue, not fried chicken.
Seth, do you barbecue your corn ever or no?
No, I like boiling it, but I
Right.
have had it. I've never really gotten good at barbecuing. I don't think it'd be too difficult, but like I know people that I've had it at other people's houses and it was delicious.
I think most of the best way I've had it done is people wrap it in a tinfoil and throw it on the
Yeah.
barbecue.
You got to
And
butter it
then-
first, I think.
And then
I
once
really like.
yeah, and then once it's really cooked, then you take the wrapping off and get
Yeah.
some of the barbecue flavor and then pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever roll it in like a brick of butter, or you roll it on the butter brick?
I've never
Yeah,
done
eat
that.
it?
I've seen it, but I've never done it.
That's
That's the way you do it.
that's next level fat.
That's how
So
we
do you
got
ever
on the
stop?
salt topic because I've been using the I went to a butcher in Pittsburgh and I've seen Sean Baker, that one
Beef guy.
carnivore guy,
Yeah.
and he uses that mold on all the time. And I'm like, man, where's it to get it? Where do I get it? And then I ended up seeing it at a butcher shop in Pittsburgh, and I was like, fuck it, I gotta try it.
You know, can
I'm
I
in
tell-
on it. I love it.
I got to tell you before we get back onto the salt, I can't follow Sean Baker anymore. I
Oh.
was actually really disappointed. So I like Sean Baker. I follow his stuff. He's a carnivore guy. I'm like, okay, I like.
Yeah, I know
carnivore.
who he is.
Right. So I'm looking at his Instagram, and the last post he posted, I wonder if I can find it right now. It was something like, "I have no respect for steroid users." I was like, "Oh, that sucks."
Hey,
I'm like, I'm like,
look at that.
See you later.
I'm like, you're
Oh,
out.
there's Sean.
No, look. I think it was this right here. Where the fuck did it go? I saw it pop up. Maybe it was a different account. Shit.
I mean, that was only
Oh, I
just
just saw something about drugs.
that was only just Trump right there. So that was only like a couple
Right
days.
there.
Oh, steroids without exercise, right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
This is why I am fairly unimpressed by steroid users' accomplishments.
Oh,
Because
Oh, are you?
well, then that's any athlete in the world. Then
after 10 weeks, the testosterone built more muscle than training did. So he's basically saying, like, you can do nothing and gain muscle if you take testosterone, which is probably true, but that goes for fucking literally every athlete on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying I'm unimpressed by track and field runners. I'm unimpressed by football players. I'm unimpressed by hockey
Fighters.
fighters. Like, you're unimpressed
Yeah.
by everybody, pretty much.
Everybody.
It's like, so I
I'm
got
gonna pretend I didn't see the post, and I'm gonna continue.
yeah,
with
that's what I thought that to myself too. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll just let this one
Ignorance
fly.
is bliss.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to show this. I can't play it with the sound, but I just want to show this. Mike, you posted this.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if
Oh,
I
your
can.
hip.
Wait a minute.
Ugh.
Sorry, wrong one.
what them hammering? Did you see the hammer?
No, but I love this actually. Your rear delt machine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're talking about people sitting sideways on the machine. I'm like, okay. Can I just? So Mike's talking about sitting sideways on the machine and pulling across your body instead of just sitting like directly flat against the pad. Now, the only question I have, I agree with you, but the only question I have is, wouldn't you get more stretch if you were sitting sideways?
Try it.
Is it
It's no-
shit?
Try it and tell
Is
me.
it shit? Is it shit?
Try it.
Okay, I'll try it.
There's some
but I-
people. Don't get me wrong. There's some people that can manipulate themselves that have a very strong body awareness of like how to create a stretch across and to like
Yeah.
feel that opening.
Yeah.
But to your average person, they're thinking like literally just do this with this thing and push it across. Half of them are off balance and
Right.
doing all this stuff. There's a guy who wrote me in the comments there, some pro Persian, something. I forget the guy's name. I think it's Ethan or something, but I was like, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, you can get the same effect if you just put one arm out and post your arm and face the fucking machine, and you'll get more of a stretch and more of an angle because your tension point is longer, right?
But do you get more of a stretch though? Because if I'm like, for example, if I'm using cables,
Mhm.
Like if I'm doing like pull aparts on a cable, if that's what you call it, whatever, I kind of bring my hands across so I get more stretch in the rear delt, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't bring my hands across. I'd put my hips further back and pull across more than I wouldn't cross my hands.
Okay,
Yeah.
so on my pec deck, for example, when the stack touches, I'm like here,
Mhm.
right? So
So
if
you like I'm saying if there's a stack where the stack doesn't come into the handles almost like touching,
right,
you can always offset yourself. You can offset yourself and lean
Yeah.
off and still push out. You
Right,
don't need
right.
to be sideways
I got you.
because the arc of the motion is like I'm literally pulling back into myself because the arc's going behind me.
Right.
It's not going out. It's not keeping on a track where it's pushing away from me and
Yeah.
I'm fighting pressure back. I'm fighting this around motion of arcing. So I'm just like I'm rocking and rocking and rocking. So guys that are talented and know their bodies and understand like I'm sure any of us could get in there and be like, oh, I can feel it if I did this. But like, why would I when I could
Right.
just do it the way I do it? Do you know what I mean? Like
right.
Yeah, I
it's
think
like
I would go-
reinventing the wheel for nothing.
Ian,
I think
go ahead.
also too, with like some things like we talk about like more stretch or this or whatever, and I'm all for that, but not all muscles I think benefit the same from like stretch mediated hypertrophy. So I don't think you need to like worry for on a thing if you get like this versus this and like one extra degree of stretch on certain muscles. I don't think makes any positive difference in any way.
I agree with you, but don't we confuse people because, you know, we tell people that like studies have come out and we tell people that like your best chance at hypertrophy and
Full range of motion.
is full range, but like really getting into that deepest stretch.
But
Yeah,
I would argue
I
it's
think-
full range of tension, not motion.
Full range of tension. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with
I
Mike.
agree with that too. I actually agree with that more.
But I
as well.
also think like it depends. Like, is it a muscle that crosses like more than one joint line? Like, or is it something that's just crossing one? Like, I think it's not all the same thing. Like, I don't think we can paint all muscles with the same brush in their terms of like applying stretch them. I think for some, if they're like just crossing one point of the joint, I don't think it's the same as if they cross two. You know, like with your quad crossing the knee and the hip, I think is different than something that's just crossing the elbow, you know? So
Okay.
I think that we can't paint everything with the same brush. I do think, yes, full range of motion is generally, if you're going with the general rule of thumb, definitely important. But like for people worrying about doing a rear delt exercise to get like one extra degree of rear delt stretch and potentially using less load or you having worse form, I don't think is necessarily beneficial.
Okay, watch. This is the annoying part for me. If Mike Israetel was on this podcast, you guys would be, well, maybe not you, Mike, but Ian, you would be saying something different.
Why?
Because
I would 100% be saying what I'm saying.
Ian would be saying something different because we already had
What
this
are you
debate.
saying?
Well, because
I said I agree that full range of motion is important. I just said that.
Hold on a minute. Just let me explain myself.
No, don't start with this fucking bullshit. Every time Mike's on, if I agree with one fucking thing this guy says,
No, because I remember. Okay, so what I'm hearing right now about this rear delt shit is basically you could probably get a little more stretch, but it's fucking not necessary. And
I'm just saying that
it might not be doing anything because it's 1 degree difference. Who gives a fuck?
I think
when I brought that up,
use the machine as it's intended.
let me finish.
Yeah.
When I brought up the chest press and the fact that he does this instead of this, like instead of my elbows being fucking here, he wants them here. There was a massive debate about how wrong that was. And then I actually said, so you think the 1 degree is going to change the way your chest is built? And he was like, well, 1 degree over 10 years, blah, blah, blah.
Why not? It's a why not. And I agree. But then you're doing something still within the arc of what that movement or machine is intended. Now you're going and trying to alter machinery to gain some very small advantage, which I think in this case is not necessarily necessary. You know,
But that's your opinion, which is fine.
my opinion.
But
Everything here we're talking about is our opinion.
There's been no studies done on these fucking random ass fucking
I guess what
exercises that people.
I guess what I'm saying is we should have.
But what I also said from the beginning is I said, I don't think we can paint all muscles with the same brush, and thinking that your chest versus your shoulders versus your quads versus things, and then them all being that the stretch is the most important. I think that to paint everything with the same brush is not necessarily correct, you know?
But it's also like say Fouad, you did your style of leg press, and
Right.
and your style of leg press is not the same range of motion as Mike Israetel's.
right.
Let's say
It's
it's
not.
probably not.
No, it's not.
Mine's not.
Yeah,
But
it's definitely not.
were your legs considerably bigger and more developed?
Yes. What's going on, guys? I want to pause the podcast for a minute just to bring you guys our sponsor, which is Merrick Health. But they're not only my sponsor, they are definitely the ones that help me keep my health right. And one of the things that sometimes gets lost in the podcast, we joke around a lot about health and drugs and all these different things, but I need to stress to you how important it is to actually see the people at Merrick Health to get your blood work, but not only to get your blood work, but also to optimize your hormones. So look, I'm not going to take a long time. We'll get back to the podcast. But trust me, get to merrickhealth.com/RBP. Don't worry about using my code if you don't want to. It doesn't matter. Just get to Merrick Health. Get somebody to look at your blood work. Get somebody to look at the drugs you're using and your hormones and make sure that you're doing things properly, because these things can lead to symptoms and issues down the road. Things that I didn't know about, things that doctors never told me about, and things that I'm dealing with now that I didn't have to deal with had I had the information. So please get to merrickhealth.com. A lot of the jokes are all fun and games, but you do have to take these things seriously because bodybuilding is a risky world and it's important for you guys to make sure you're getting checked. merrickhealth.com is the people to go see.
Then that's
No,
the range of motion. That's the range of motion that works for you, right? And that's like him harping on this full range of motion thing is a very intelligent way to look at training, especially when you're talking to a beginner or an intermediary or someone who wants to understand the appropriate concept of lifting. But that's like lifting for dummies. Like here's your platform. Now you have to build on it, guys. You don't just stay down at the bottom level all the time and think full range of motion. It's like I have to shorten those ranges of motion to create better tension. So my range of motion might start here, but it ends up here as I get later on because I understand this range already without having to hit it.
Well, you
I understand inertia. I understand function and flow of my muscle. So I can rock in this range. I don't need to go out here and go here all the time.
Yeah, but you're saying that, which is basically changing from range of motion to range of tension, which I agree with.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not what Mike would say. Mike would say it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or advanced. The best way to train is this.
Yeah,
but it's going to change with the density of muscle and like development and like it's like someone can't get that range of motion with hamstrings that hang down. As soon as they bend their fucking knee, their hamstring's smashing into their calf. It's like it's not happening, bro. Like I'm glad that you can do that as a smaller guy with smaller joints and like this tiny man that he is. And I'm speaking to anyone who talks like that. But as you get bigger, shit happens and you can't move that. You can't get to those desks, but that doesn't mean that's not full range for you.
Right.
Because your muscle is maximally stretched and the supporting muscles are maximally contracted and they're firing you out of that position, right? So it's not like, oh, you need to get lower. And you're like, no, I'll literally pop my patella. Like I literally burst my patella to get down.
I guess my purpose for this podcast is to try and teach people, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I ask you guys all these questions and we have debates and blah, blah, blah. I get the problem that I have is that when it gets too complicated, it confuses the viewer if they're not an advanced lifter. So if you're saying, well, there's some muscles we should strive for extreme stretch and some muscles that we shouldn't, then the person watching is like, okay, well, which muscles do I fucking strive for extreme stretch and which muscles do I?
But I think the people that are confusing people the most aren't necessarily us. It's like we're talking like I visually physically saw a kid trying to do this exercise at the gym and just like fall, like he didn't even have nowhere to base his weight. He didn't know how to support himself. He didn't know anything. And I asked him like, because I trained the kid one time, like back a few months ago. And I'm like, what are you doing, bro? And he's like, well, I saw so-and-so do this. I won't say who. I saw so-and-so do this. And they said it worked. I said, that's the stupidest thing ever. Face the machine, do it with one arm.
Right.
At least you know where your balance is and where you're pushing because you have a line of tension to follow. Here you're like, I'm trying to throw, and obviously it was too much weight. Right?
I understand what you're saying, Fouad, with like,
I'm not trying to say that was right.
Training is simple, but it's also not in a lot of ways. So I think we can simplify it down for people that are watching the podcast that might not understand, but to just paint everything, like I'm saying, with the same brush, like that this is a rep range that you should do for every muscle, or that this is a style of exercise, like that you should train everything in the same way. I don't think is also conversely the same way of saying that we shouldn't tell people to do that kind of stuff.
No, and I agree with that.
Well, should do like Mike's saying, like you should find the ranges of motion that are good for you. And look, I think I am completely in the camp of you should generally always try to train with the most complete range of motion you can in most regards. Like pending like for the rear delt pending stability, and that it's not taking away from the exercise in 5 other ways to gain 1% or 2% extra in a stretch.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, there is caveats to all these things for sure, you know?
And I think
Go ahead,
that
Seth.
whenever it comes to training with this, the best place to start for any person is full range of motion.
Right.
For sure. Beginner and then into the intermediate process. However, if you there's so much information on the internet that everybody wants to look cool in the gym. It's not just about the progress. Now it's looking cool and following your favorite influencer in this. It's not even about your own personal gain. It's about doing what's trendy or cool on the internet, which is causing a little bit of problem in this argument that we go back and forth at. But the way that I learned whenever I was just listening to everybody, how did I come up with partials? Like, how did I start doing partials? I was like, when did I even start doing them? Like, what was the first thing that like set me off? Maybe I should do these half reps. Like, how did that come into my head? 21s. Who did 21s on bicep?
Oh yeah, those are great.
You know what I mean? That was like the coolest old school thing. And I was like, and whenever I was doing all of my exercise and I started doing 21s with the easy bar curl, I'm like, holy fuck, dude, these gave me a crazy pump in my arms.
For those people who don't know, 21s are 7 half reps from the bottom, 7 half reps from the top, and 7 full reps doing a bicep curl. Just so people know what you're talking about.
I mean, if you don't know what
Great finisher.
21s are, you're
Get the
Seth,
fuck out of
you'd
here.
be no, don't say that. You'd be shocked. Listen, I get a lot of DMs from people. You'd be shocked from people who are either like fans or they're just starting out. So I'm trying to like.
so, but I was thinking, I'm like, that's where I first started learning about partial reps, and that was my first introduction into him being like, bro, I got crazy pump. Like, I feel like my arms got better from doing 21s. So that's how like I began my journey into finding like different
different
like
ranges.
the range of reps to do within that, at least a different range of motion. And I started applying it to different things. It wasn't like every single thing became a half rep all of a sudden,
Right.
but I started using it as like an intensifier exercise, pinpointing things. Dude, that was years.
Mine was
I have to play devil's advocate for a second here, and this is a question for all of you. Does anyone here actually think that doing 21 half reps would be anywhere close to as beneficial as doing 21 full reps, or in different partial ranges?
Wait a minute. Are you saying like
doing 21s for a barbell curl? That why wouldn't you just do full range of motion for every single repetition?
And just do a straight set of 21?
Or straight out of 12 or 15 or whatever. Where's the advantage you're gaining? I'm just curious what you would think in
I
doing.
think there's a difference. I think doing.
What's the difference?
Well, look, I'm not a scientist, so nothing I say is going to sound scientific. But I just think
No, but you have tons of experience, so that's even more important than a scientist.
I think when you're doing full range, like let's say you take full range in a curl, right? You're going all the way to the bottom and all the way to the top. I feel like there's a point at the bottom and a point at the top where you're losing some tension. So I think doing 7.
You can solve that issue with using a cable or a machine.
No, even with a cable. Even when we did cable curls 2 days ago. When I get to the bottom, I lose tension. When I get to the very top, I don't feel as much tension as in the middle.
Sure.
There's always an arc of tension, right? So
yeah, of course.
So I'm saying if you're doing partials where you're like, okay, the partial is from the hardest part of the movement to the very top, you're going to cause more tension and more lactic acid buildup, more blood flow, more pump than doing a full one where there's 2 dead spots.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
Your goal would be to eliminate those dead spots though, and create like better body tilt or body lean.
That's what I'm saying though. But you're eliminating by doing that.
But you're not. You're just shortening the range of motion. I think that you could manipulate the exercise into a way that you could do a full range of motion and have tension as good as possible throughout. And now you're still getting all of that. You know, I just in my mind I can't wrap around seeing any benefit. Look, I did 21s for years, and I had big arms. Sure, I don't disagree that they can't work. But when I think of it in like a sense, in a way that makes sense to me, sometimes I just can't wrap my head around why would ever or how it could ever be more beneficial than just doing straight reps.
Okay, wait, can I just say this one thing just as a caveat to the whole discussion? I don't think 21s are some magical
thing. But I mean, and this applies
for me, it's just a way to, for lack of a better word,
a lot of blood,
spice up your fucking workout. You're doing something a little different, driving a little bit more blood.
You can also apply it to things like, I'm sure you guys have seen like that old what is it, Nautilus or whatever. It's like the preacher curl with the kind of hoop handle and the 2 hooks.
Yep.
So there's a good arc on that curl because your body weight is on something and I'm supported by tucking into my lat and my tricep, right?
Yeah.
So I can create tension where if I wanted to spot someone, I wanted to do half reps and rock, I have leverage on that machine to be able to do that and to create like tension where I could work in partials.
Yeah.
Because my body's locked in a position where my body's stable and my hands can just work, right? And my bicep can work. And I think that's stuff like you can apply that principle of 21s and stuff to other machines. Like you guys can do it with back, where you can do partial pulls with back, things like that. So
sorry, Paul. Ian, do you ever think there's a place for these nuanced things like within partials, or like, for example, John used to have me do 1.5s. You would do a hack squat. You'd do a hack squat or it's usually a hack squat. You might probably do the squat where you do
in regards to hypertrophy. I don't think so. In terms of maybe like but
tendon, you're saying
tendon and ligament integrity. Do I think doing 1.5 so you're stopping in the middle of a load and retracting going up? I think they can have benefits, but do I think for hypertrophy purposes? No, I don't.
Okay, but wait a minute. When you say hypertrophy is not one thing, right? I mean,
hypertrophy is literally just building muscle.
No, I know, but it's not formed by one thing. It's like,
well, I think hypertrophy is driven by one thing. Yes.
What?
Well, it would be, I don't know exactly.
It's not mechanical load. That's not the only thing that drives hypertrophy.
Oh, it would be mechanical tension placed upon a muscle. It's not the pump or it's anything like that. It's tension that you can create.
I don't agree with that. And actually,
I think that's a scientific fact. I don't think that's like a debate.
It's not a scientific fact. That's if you want, we can watch Brad Schoenfeld's podcast he did with me.
Sure.
Just a year ago.
What does he say is the
he's literally written books on this. It's like there's 3 different factors involved in building muscles, not just mechanical load. And that's why when I hear people say, "Oh, the pump doesn't matter," I'm like, that's not true. You're driving nutrients, you're driving blood, you're driving water, you're driving there's cell volumization. There's more than just mechanical load.
To my knowledge from the studies I've read, those aren't driving factors in hypertrophy particularly.
So how come though? Why do bench pressers oftentimes put a block on their chest and just work the top half of a movement?
Well, because that's different if you're training.
Well, they're building.
If you're training in a strength art. You're training in a strength art.
They're training specific. Yeah, they're just training specific portions of the lift, right?
They're just trying to get stronger.
I understand, like they drive out of the hole, and then a lot of guys get stuck driving out that last 3/4 of a rep. So they practice the ranges of motion that they're going to hit, so that like explosion and carry through is easier to get because they've understood like handling every aspect of that range. So that's why it's like 3 boards, 2 boards, 1 board, whatever the fuck it is, right?
Yeah, you're just getting different ranges.
Well, if mechanical load was the only
mechanical tension.
Okay, but aren't you creating? Okay, fine. Let's take that as. Let's say you're right.
I don't think load is necessarily.
Okay, wait.
Tension, and that's like when Mike's talking about putting in active range of tension. I do agree with that, and that I think tension is the driving factor for it.
But hold on. Let's assume you're 100% right, and that's the only factor that matters.
I think it's the absolute main dominant factor. Yes.
Okay, so let's say it's the main dominant factor. Wouldn't you be creating more tension by doing a 1.5?
No.
Why?
Why would you be creating more than not just doing a full range of motion?
Because there's more tension on the muscle for longer.
Well, no, not necessarily. Because if you did 8 1.5s that tire you out, or you could have done 12 full reps with that same load, is that necessarily more tension? It might not be. And it might be
less. If there's less dead spots.
I think it would elicit more of a stress response in the sense that the muscle doesn't get a chance to relax, which then might elicit more blood volume or blood pull to the muscle. So therefore it can have an effect of pulling nutrients, like you say, and things like that. And I'm someone that does do stuff like that. So I'm not arguing against it or for it, but I mean, it's just another way to add stress to the set. It's not something I would do on every set. Like I'm sure you guys didn't, but it's definitely something you could do on like the last set where, I'm not going to get, I'm at my peak load and now I'm going to fucking strip off and now I'm going to get some partials and 1.5s and really try and ruin these fucking legs and tear down some muscle fibers that aren't going to get hit necessarily if I'm taking my time in my normal tempo. I'm forcing the body to stress and acclimate quicker, right?
See, sorry, Paul, this is a conversation that I had with Mike where I disagreed with him because he said he doesn't see a place in a training program anywhere for partials. And I don't agree with that.
Well, I think he would agree. And I think that for bottom end partials, that there is a lot of like science to say that those are good.
The first time I had him on the podcast.
For straight.
He was dead against any partials anywhere. He's like,
Okay.
why would you do a partial? He's like, just stop and
But
do
I
it.
don't think I think a partial is a form of an intensifier, not as a main driving force in a set.
Of
I think
course.
if you do curls till you fail and then do some partial reps at the end versus if you're doing a 21 and you're starting with a partial.
Agree with you. But that's the problem is when I said that, and I think you were on that second podcast.
I was on that one. And
you guys were both like, why don't you just stop and do another set? And I'm like, because
I was agreeing
because I'm building more tension.
Ranges of motion for as many as you can always should be the predominant thing. If you're going to do some intensifiers after the fact, that's a different thing.
That's fine. But that's what the issue was with Mike, was he was like, well, there's no need for it. Just stop and do another set. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not the point of it. It's like doing any intensity technique. Why would I do a drop set? Okay, I don't need to do a drop set. I can just stop and do another set. Why would I do pause reps? Why would I do
I'm not sure that, look, they're all fun to do and we like to do them and they're adding intensity to the workout. But to say how much that if you just did straight sets for every set of your entire life, a full range of motion sets, that would be less effective than doing more drop sets or super sets or giant sets. We can't really say that. So like, it's not, you know what I mean?
No, but we have a lot of, but wait a minute. We have a lot of
anecdotal evidence.
We have a lot of
also probably just as many anecdotal bodybuilders that did full range of motion for their entire careers.
No one's talking about just full range of motion. We're talking about intensity techniques.
Sure, intensity techniques, whatever.
So like if you look at like Patrick Tour, this is Patrick Tour's entire training program.
I can speak for myself that I've done full periods of years making insane progress doing nothing but straight sets. I've also done periods where I did crazy amounts of volume with lots of different intensifiers. I also made good progress. So I'm not saying, I don't think that one is necessarily better than the other, you know?
Well, no one's saying you can't build muscle without just doing straight sets. We're just saying what will build muscle faster.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I don't think one can build muscle faster. I'm saying that I think that you are adding an intensity to the workout that feels nice. It can make you feel accomplished, but I don't necessarily know if that's always making it a more valuable workout. If you just did those sets always just to failure in straight sets that were very hard and going to that level of failure, I'm not sure if that actually is true, you know?
Well, I'm only going to disagree in the one thing that is intangible.
And look, I do drop sets every day that I train. Every day.
Just hold on a minute. There's an intangible that I'm just going to use here that nobody's going to be like, oh, that's the way, but feeling fucking matters.
I agree. Look, I just said I do drop sets every day that I train. I like how it feels, and I train how I think feels good. But there's a difference between speaking of what we like and what we choose to do because we prefer it and like it and it adds joy to our workout versus saying that this is the best way and that, you know, that intensity techniques are more superior or that doing a partial rep at the end of your set is better than just doing a set to failure at a full range of motion. To say that it's better is like, we can't actually say that.
Well, the only reason
we've also figured out what works for us. Like, it's not like whenever we're training, like whenever we're training and we do something, at least in our world for us, we know that it's going to fucking work. We like the shit that works.
But he's saying it's not. He's saying you might feel good, but it doesn't mean it's working.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa, motherfucker!
No.
I didn't say that. What did I just fucking say? I just said that I've done full periods of my career doing intensifiers and it worked. And I've also said I did it just straight sets and it worked. So I never said that neither of them don't work. I said that they both can work. I said that the only difference is that I think that one is we're doing things more out of the feel and the enjoyment and the creation of intensity. I think they're called intensifiers for a workout. They're making our workout more intense. But I don't think intensity is necessarily what is a driving factor in hypertrophy. So it's like, I agree. And I do drop sets and super sets and rest pause sets every single day that I train multiple times.
What I'm saying
say they're better. I don't agree.
What I'm saying is that you are right in the regard of like, those are intensifiers, but we in our category of where we are and how we talk to each other, like if I do an intensifier, motherfucker, I know it's going to work.
Sure, I agree.
I know it's going to work. I think that's the hard part about the next thing for people listening is like, how do they know how to get that intensifier to work? How do they know whenever to do a partial? When do they figure out how to do it, when to do it, whenever to do something that's 3/4 of a rep or a 1.5? Like you can't deny that the 1.5s would work to a certain degree because you are creating more tension, but then you're like, well, how much tension are you creating with 1.5? Because it's like you're going down and getting a full rep and then a half rep of blood and then coming up for a quick breather. And that breather is taking it off there where it's like, well, if I just keep constant tension for 7/8 of a full rep, which would be a full rep of full tension the whole entire time for 8 fucking reps, dude, you ain't making 8 reps. You're going to need to take that break at some point. And I think that those intensifiers of the 1.5, like what Meadows would do, was for a specific application that he created, being like, hey, so we're going to do 1 rep, full rep, which would be 7/8 of a rep for that constant tension, and then go back down for the half and then come back up. You know what I mean? So therefore it's like, oh, and then that's when you take your break. You're going to do 8 1.5s. Or it's like, if you actually just did 6, like you might only have the gas for 6 7/8 of a rep to keep that constant tension there. But it's like,
way of extending the set.
That's what we understand all that stuff, because I mean, that's what, whenever we get together, we challenge each other on, let's do 1.5. So let's do this or let's do that. I think other people, they can't even do a fucking rear delt movement the proper way without having the proper position. Or
it's like, God bless Mike Issertel, and I mean no disrespect, and I think he's a fucking intelligent guy and a really nice guy, but I don't know when he became the word on trading. And I don't know when. I mean, I'm glad his app is successful and he does well and he teaches people and he helps a lot of people and all that stuff, but it's like, we're having an argument right now based on what something that he deems is right. And all of us are arguing. But all of us are arguing. All of us are arguing against a point of a full range of motion that this person said is optimal. But all of us know that we've done all kinds of stuff that works.
Yeah, but we're arguing something Mike said is wrong, because whether Mike said it or somebody else said it, I don't really care.
I'm not arguing.
But that's always the standard we go back to. Mike Issertel would say this.
Well, it's because Fouad had him on the podcast, so he's using him just based off conversations that we've.
Listen, can I just?
No, but you can trace it back to real world conversations you could hear in the gym. I'm not saying it's just happening here. You could be like, some kid could be like, well, I saw this because it could be not Mike. Some science-based guy said this and da 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 da. It's like, well, yeah, man, you can do that, but you can also do this, and that's not the only way. There's more than one way. But I'm saying these people that hold these positions of like, I am the training person, I must listen to these science-based guys. Like these kids, like we're talking about, they're looking at us watching this show. They're looking up to those people like, those guys know, because they make it sound fancy and they make it sound really intelligent.
Mike, I don't think it's kind of not where I'm coming from. My point is, like, Iain stressed that intensifiers may not be any better than not using intensifiers. And I feel like
we're arguing that based off. Arguing that based off Mike Issertel saying that there's no place in your workout for partials.
No, I know, but we started because of Seth. It's Seth's fault because he says 21s.
That's right. That's where it all started. How I saw partials.
I guess this is my question. This is my question. It's not my argument. It's my question. I don't think there's a way, and maybe I'm wrong. Is there a way to measure the tension in a muscle and the feeling of the muscle, the pump of the muscle, and does all of that matter? Because if I'm extending my set with drop sets, supersets, pause reps, whatever intensity technique you want to use, partials, if I'm extending my set, I'm making the muscle work harder. And in actuality, I'm thinking, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this is causing more stress to the fibers, which is going to cause for more adaptation, which is going to grow the muscle. That's how my thought process works. Yeah. So I'm like, why wouldn't the extra intensity be meaningful?
Well, Fouad,
correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, go ahead, Bob.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't. And Dontre Trudel, I'm not saying that he's the be all end all either. But he's a pretty knowledgeable guy who's trained a lot of people over the years. I think he would argue that those intensity techniques do lead to more growth. I think that's part of it.
He's big on rest pause sets, which I would agree. Right. In that case, I would agree, because you're not changing the load. So I think it depends on what we're talking about. You're still doing a full range of motion and you're not changing the load. So your level of tension is staying the same and you're just taking a small break to go again. When you're talking about a drop set, you're lowering the load. You're now lowering the tension. So I think, or if you're doing a partial range of motion, you're not doing a full range of motion. So if you're going to talk about rest pause sets, I agree with you all day. I do believe that they can be superior in an intensity technique, but all those is just making mini sets out of sets. It's just
hold on a minute.
Only technique it's doing, it's the same thing, just taking a little break between.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't one of the basis for Dontre, wasn't also the stretching at the end of an exercise where he was a big advocate of that?
He does weighted stretches at the end of the workout. They're not within the set. So it's
I
like,
thought
say,
they're at the end
like
of
a workout, and at the end of the chest work, you'll lay there with like dumbbells and stretch for a minute. You know what I mean? Or like hang in a pull-up position and stretch. You know.
The thing
Okay.
is, Ian, what you're describing then is that load is the most important thing because in
Tension is the most important thing.
right. So you're saying the pause rep, you're just using the same thing, like different, like word manipulation. So you're saying
no,
because
load is important in tension, but it's not the only thing that creates it.
right. So that means I can create tension with a drop set. I don't have to keep the weight the same. I'm still creating tension. You're saying the weight has to be the same, which means the tension is all coming from the load.
In this set, I would be, but in the drop set form, I think you are. What are you what tension are you adding to the set at that point? You've already fatigued it at a higher tension. I don't think you're adding anything overly beneficial to it.
Okay, let me simplify this to like retard terms. This is the muscle. It's got 100 fibers in it, right? I did failure with
yeah, I know where you're going with this, but I don't think that's how it works, is it?
I don't know. Let me finish the question so people can understand what I'm saying. There's 100 fibers in the bicep fucking muscle. I do 80 pounds, I do 10 reps, and I fatigued 90 fucking fibers. If I drop set to 60 pounds and do another 8 reps, did I get the last 10?
I would argue no, not necessarily, but I also would argue on the point that you should have done to 100% on that first chunk anyways.
Yeah, but maybe lowering the weight is causing more stress to the muscle. Maybe I can only do 10 with 90 pounds, but I can extend the set by lowering the weight a little bit and doing 10
I agree it's a set extender and intensifier, but is that necessarily yielding more hypertrophy? I don't.
It's going to cause more tension.
I don't know the answer. I think no, but I don't know the answer 100%.
Oh wait, okay, I know. I don't either, but I'm just theoretically, wouldn't it cause more tension?
Having fun. We're all having fun right now.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
No, listen, I think it's important.
If the drop in load helped you isolate on the bicep better, and you stop swinging, you stop rocking, you stop doing all kinds of stuff to compensate for the weight that you're no longer able to move, then yeah, maybe you are hitting some fibers that you missed in the other one, because now the bicep's able to actually do the work and not just the shoulder or the front delt, whatever, right?
Okay, but Mike, let's say your form is perfect for 10 and you failed at 10 with 90 pounds. Your form was perfect. Your form was perfect.
I would still say fuck it and drop it and grab 60 and do
wait
more.
a minute. I dropped to 60. I do 10 more. Now, in my mind, if you tell me mechanical tension is the driver of hypertrophy, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm creating more tension. I'm just doing it with a lighter weight.
Yeah, my goal would be to extend tension as long as I can until I can't take it anymore.
That's
It's
kind of my
extending
point.
tension rather than increasing, probably, right?
I don't care about, like, I don't give a shit about the load. Like, the load is the load based on like my ability to move the weight properly, but it's not my goal. And all of us know, like, if we go to pick up an 80-pound dumbbell, it's like, man, I can't curl this today, but I can definitely curl 60 or 50. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, now I'm going to move with that same tension and that same intensity I would try to move the 80 with the 60 and move it properly, just because I have the ability to move that load effectively, not just like haphazardly swinging a fucking weight up, right?
Oh, of course. I think I don't think anyone's debating that you shouldn't be doing anything with bad form to mitigate.
But the thing is, a lot of the people listening are thinking that, though. We know that. But a lot of people,
why would they be?
A lot of people that are new to training and younger and not understanding like that concept that we're talking about of why you would drop and why that might be beneficial to you to extend the set. They don't understand, because they think that their form and their technique is so great. So they're just like, oh, I want to get that load on there and I want to move that fucking weight. And then why do I need to burn myself out doing something else? I just moved this massive load. It's like, well, you didn't move the massive load very well, dude. And it wasn't on your bicep.
I would never agree that doing it with shittier form and but then what we're doing exactly what I'm saying. By having shittier form, you're creating less tension, you know?
I think we take
you're
for
going to
granted.
manipulate it to get it up, you're literally reducing tension, you know?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, is that the people that we're trying to educate, they think that that's like how they should do shit.
Yeah.
They don't know any better. Like, I'm in the gym every day. Like, I go to a public gym every day. You guys, and Ian does too, but like, and so Paul and Fouad work out together. Seth has, this is happening, guys. It's not like maybe the kids are understanding and they're just missing this one thing. Like, there's fucking off in space, bro.
Yeah.
They are not on this planet. They're off in space.
I gotta ask a question. If we're gonna decide between kids doing,
it's not even kids.
Young.
Go ahead.
In the gym doing light weights and trying to really feel the muscle and doing like the fucking, versus a kid that's fucking slamming 80-pound dumbbell fucking curls. I'm taking the kid slamming 80-pound dumbbells all day, every day.
I'm going with the Trend Twins all day.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that we can be the voice who like kind of bridges the gap between those. It's like, you're gonna get to those 80s one day, but they're gonna it's gonna look fucking amazing, and you're gonna feel every bit of that 80. But let's just get there and like not be in a rush. We're gonna get there.
Yeah,
this guy might be doing it and looking fucking really cool, but his arms suck. And when you get there, your arms are gonna look fucking crazy, and you're gonna be like fucking wildly looking insane. That's the impression we're trying to put on people. Is like there's no doubt that you'll get there. There's no doubt that you'll move the weights you want to move, but let's move them well. And we can be aggressive as fuck when we do it. Let's just move them well.
But I think we have all stressed, except for maybe Fouad, but that you should always train with good form. You know.
You just said you're gonna take the sloppy kid too. Well, listen, I don't think, I will say, when people ask you like, oh, what would you do different in your career? I like the way the Trend Twins trained. That's probably closer to how I trained. I will say though, if your genetics aren't made for it, you will end up with a lot of injuries like I did. So
you also want kids like that because you see the drive in them, right? Like everyone loves that shit. Like, if you see a kid fucking up, but he's giving it his heart, like I'm the same way. Like if I see some kid benching 4 plates and it's not necessarily looking that great, but he's fucking moving that bar, his bar speed is like, woof. Like, it's like, yeah, man, like let's just fucking try this one thing to make it like a little bit better on you. So nothing bad happens. And like, let's see if we can like get you in the right lane a bit more and keep that intensity and do what you got to do and grow and fucking stress your muscle. But understand that like eventually you're gonna have to harness that power and like really take control of it, and you can be something special, right?
Go ahead, Paul. You're gonna say something.
I think we take for granted how to isolate muscles. I think we think it like to us it comes second nature. Like my youngest daughter right now is going to physiotherapy, and because she broke her arm, so they have her doing curls. Try teaching a 10-year-old girl how to isolate her and do a bicep curl. She wants to put that arm out here, like here, and I'm like, no, you got to tuck your elbow in and just bring it up straight. And she just naturally wants to hammer curl it or bring her elbow out or put her elbow out. Like, I know she's only 10, but like I think when I used to train people once in a while, like especially some people who didn't have any bodybuilding background at all, it's hard to tell someone how to isolate a muscle if they're not athletic at all.
I think there is a basic skill level to weight training that, like anything, takes time. I think the skill level of weight training is very low and is learned quickly.
Yeah.
But I think like anything, it's a movement that is going to take time to gain body awareness. So to expect someone to have it right off the hop, and we're talking like we can help them and tell them the ways, but we can tell them a million things of the proper ways to train and the form and this, but without them just doing it for time and reps and feeling it. I can tell you how to dance fucking ballet all day. You still can't fucking dance it without learning to dance it. You
got to build those motor skills.
Well, it's kind of like
build it. And I think lifting weights is the same. I just think it's because the motions are so simple in their planes of ranges of motion, and they're so like one directional. I think it's a lot simpler, obviously, than like dancing or like complex movements. But I mean, I think there's still like your daughter. She would be able to be good at that. It would just take her time of doing curls.
Yeah, she'll get good at it. Yeah, I mean, just the early stages of this, trying to teach her.
Just like anyone, I think that we shouldn't expect, or we shouldn't set the standard that we can tell people to go into the gym and train with perfect form and like have perfect connection with their muscles because of something that we say. Like a lot of this is just, we spent time in the gym when we just learned. And I think everyone needs to do that.
Yeah,
it's like Seth was saying, like the first time I did a partial was probably chest. I was like, oh, I can
bench press.
I can feel my chest better if I don't lock out my elbos. If I do
the first 5 years I was doing just.
So no, I do think is a learning curve for sure. Like, Ben talks about this, and I think it's partially might be genetic. Ben talks about like training with Luke, and Ben would say, I would do a set of leg extensions, and Luke would do a set of leg extensions, and I could just see that he was getting more out of it than I was. Like he had a better like connection, like a mind muscle connection with his legs. So I don't know if that also plays a factor into it, or if
it's the ability to create more tension.
Yeah. I didn't disagree with anything you said, you fucking asshole. Actually, I do want to go back
to my knowledge, and don't shoot the messenger, because I'm not like a doctor in any way of this stuff. To my knowledge, what I have gathered from the information out there when we were having this discussion before, that adaptation to mechanical tension is what is the driving factor in hypertrophy.
Look, whether it's the main thing or not, I don't know. All I know is I remember having Brad Schoenfeld on, who
I was pretty sure that Brad Schoenfeld was one of the guys that was like mechanical tension and the stimulus, the adaptation response to it. Because like I know people talk about like breaking muscles down, which we all know is not actually what is the thing now.
Right.
But you know, the adaptation response to the mechanical tension placed on the muscle is what is the driving factor for hypertrophy. I thought Brad was the guy that was touting that too.
Well, if you're saying it's the most important factor, he might have been saying that. But I specifically remember doing the podcast with him and him listing 3 things that played a factor in muscle growth. So whether one was more of a driving factor than the other 2, I don't remember. I have to go back and watch it. But if anybody's interested, go to the RBP playlist, the Brad Schoenfeld
like
podcast somewhere in there.
Like I look, and I'm all for the pump too, but I also think like I can get a fucking wicked pump doing a bunch of push-ups, and I
hate that argument so.
But it's the truest thing ever.
But that's the dumbest argument coming from you, especially because you are the one that hates the black and white argument. No, there is nobody in the world, no bodybuilder ever is like, I'm just training for only the pump. No, it's always in relation to some type of weight progression.
Yes, but sometimes it's taken at the things are. I think people weigh things and take things at expense of other things. And I think like people will be. I literally hear people be like, "Oh, I didn't get a good pump today, so it was a bad workout." But like they progressed in the poundage, they were training with good form, their tension level was high. To say that's now a bad workout because you didn't get a good pump, I would completely disagree.
I agree with that.
See, I wouldn't at all.
It depends.
I trained, I was one of the best bodybuilders in the world.
Depends on the workout. Yeah. That's bullshit. You just trained in my gym. You're a massive pump. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, but I'm saying not all the time in my career. There was times.
I'm sure there are times where your pump is like not as good as the day before. But I always looked at those things as a problem because I thought to myself, if my pump is not as good, then either I didn't sleep right, I didn't drink enough water, I missed something somewhere.
Sure, if there was a variance from the day before or something, yes. But I'm saying to start altering your workouts to chase the pump versus other things is what I'm trying to say. Like if you're like, oh, I don't think you have to chase the pump if you're doing shit well. Pardon?
I don't think you have to chase a pump at any point if you're training well.
I agree, but that's the point of what I'm making is that I think people will take that. Like Fouad was saying, no one's just trying to get a pump when I use the push-up analogy. I think people will do things because they render a better pump, even if it's inferior in its delivery.
Okay, but hold on a minute.
Like taking 20-pound dumbbells and cranking out 30 reps versus doing a pair of 45s and getting like 8, 10 really good ones. I'm going to say all day that's better, you know?
But now you're saying it's weight again, because if you talk to like Lane Norton, he would say, as long as your failure reps come at the end.
Okay, sure. As long as your failure reps, but I still think that the tension is not the same in that. Yeah.
But now you're saying it's weight related. What I'm trying to say to you is
tension related. Weight and tension are a correlation. If they're both failing within
the 30 rep range, the studies have shown that the muscle gained is the same.
What do you mean? Say that again.
As long as it's within the 30.
I don't agree with that.
For everybody.
Well, I'm not the scientist that said it.
He's full of shit.
But now we're saying weight. Now we're saying weight matters, which is something
weight matters.
Okay, well, so that's what I think too. But a lot of people don't agree with that anymore.
So what's the study for? Sorry, say
the tension that he's been talking about.
Weight is a factor within tension. So you're trying to separate them. You're like, weight matters. It's like, well, we said tension.
No. You're saying. I don't think
it's the only part of tension, but I think it is a massive portion of tension. You can't disagree with that.
Ian, you're saying failing with a 45-pound plate on a bench at 10 reps is better than failing at 25 reps with a 25-pound plate on each side.
Because the level of exertion to maximal failure because of it. The effort level is higher. When you're taking something with higher reps to try and get it to failure, it's a lot different than when you're taking a lower rep scheme and bring it to failure. It is a different thing.
Okay, I'm going to send you the fucking studies that are basically showing that your muscle gain is the same, which I don't agree with.
But I was just going to say, there's no way. It's almost like these studies are being fucking done just to skew to the side that they want it to be skewed for.
Well, is it not? The study
could be in brand new people to training that are coming from being detrained and then they train for 3 months.
There's a lot of studies like that in the world.
Exactly. You know, so
I'm shocked that you guys haven't seen these people touting these things where they're like,
oh, I have people say that.
So you know what I'm talking about then.
But I'm not saying I agree with it.
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying this.
I'm just saying for us to try and like separate when I keep saying weight and you're saying, I think there is a very direct correlation between doing a higher rep. Like if you're doing 100 push-ups and you get to failure, now you would be saying that if it's failure.
That's not what they say. They say it's within the 30 rep range.
Okay, so say someone that could only do 30 push-ups, then you do 28 push-ups.
Why 30?
Doing something.
I don't know. I didn't write the studies.
I think
they're trying to quantify. They're trying to quantify and define what it is that we do in the gym and make it something that can be monetized and sold, or monetized and given out. So you have to come up with something to package this up and make it look pretty and tell people like these are the parameters you just need to work in and everything will work out. But most of us have worked outside those parameters, and like guys before us that are fantastic Mr. Olympias and like the best bodies in the world haven't adhered to that. They literally haven't.
Yeah.
And now now in this day and age where we're trying to monetize stuff and put it into like a box so it can be shipped out and marketed and like I'm the smartest guy, look at what I came up with. It's like it applies in some sense and it doesn't apply in other sense, and you can't define it, guys. Like I hate to break it to everybody. If there was one way to train, we would all have trained that way. And we'd all be massive. And we'd all reach our genetic potentials because the training would just be known. Do you know what I mean? Like
I think me and Iain are just arguing because I love the pump. And I think it's as important.
The pump is awesome, but
as important as the load being lifted.
And sorry,
or the tension created.
I don't know how to put it into the scientific words, but what I believe is taking something in the higher rep range, what that reaching to failure point is not the same as taking a heavier load to failure, in that it's not taxing the muscle to the same percentage of its actual failure rate and creating the same amount of tension. So I don't believe it's the same. I don't know how to describe it, but I don't think it's quite the same.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You ever do like a big body part like back, chest, legs, and you do like all your heavy duty shit, and at the end you do like a finisher?
All the time.
I love doing that.
Why do you do that?
Because it feels awesome.
It feels good, yeah.
Because you're trying to
see from the beginning of the workout that I do, or the beginning of the conversation, that I do things all the time that I don't think are necessarily the best because I enjoy them. I do fucking.
That's so silly though.
Why? I'm retired. I don't fucking care. I do what I like. You know.
Hey,
I do what I want.
I go in there and I train. Some days I'll go in there, I'll do 30 sets of volume. I know I'm on no drugs. I know that is completely useless. I won't be able to walk for 7 days after of a leg day. I'll do drop sets on every single set of an exercise. I'll do, a whole workout where I'll do rest pauses on every set. I know that's not ideal, but I train because I love to train. So it's like, it's not really an argument to make. I know it's do as I say and not as I do,
Let me ask this crazy fucker up here. Seth, when you're doing your finisher or you're doing your extended techniques for tension or whatever, are you doing them because they feel good, or are you doing because they think you think they're actually helping develop the muscle in some way? And you better not fucking change your answer based on Ian's answer. Because you're a fucking liar if you say it's not.
In my head, they're working.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
In my head, they are working.
So both.
I am going to go balls to the fucking wall.
Well, no, yeah.
The shit. Like the finisher, that's what I mean. Like in my head, from the meathead standpoint, because I don't really follow a whole lot of the science, just because I've never been really good at reading books and comprehending them and applying too many things unless it was in person with somebody physically helping me do it. That's just me personally. So like on a finisher, like I'm squeezing the shit out of the muscle group that I'm trying to hit. Like if I'm doing, I have good mobility, so I can do behind the neck pull downs. Like if I'm doing behind the neck pull downs, I'm squeezing the shit out of it and feeling it. I'm getting a full range of motion. I'm not typically doing partials at that point. On a different finisher, it might be, if I'm finishing on rear delts, I might be like doing a 1, 2, and then a 3 and squeeze.
Right.
But I mean, in my head, yes, I believe that I am getting better by doing so. At least that's why I would be doing it. But if I'm just having fun in the gym, like it depends on the day. Like, because if we're just having fun in the gym, it could be an absolute brutal day. Like, just fuck it. We're just going to squats until we puke or just fall and can't move.
Well, I'm not necessarily talking about now, because you're retired now. You're having fun. Doesn't really matter what the fuck you do. I'm talking about more like in your competitive days. Like you were still doing those things in your competitive days, and you were doing them because you thought they were working.
Yes, and and then the second person I'd consult with other people that are doing something cool, like other pros, or I'd be talking with Hani, like, hey, what do you think of finishing with this? Oh, I do this. Like, I mean, he's also another. He has his FST7 style of training that he did with all of his stuff. You know, that was an intensifier.
Why are you laughing, Ian?
He's laughing. He loves it.
We should probably move on from this. We've been.
Let me ask you guys one question.
It's been an hour, literally.
Let me ask you guys one question though.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, how do you feel about like hockey players always have big legs? Gymnasts always have big arms and delts. Typically, there's not a lot of weight training involved there. That's all just cardio, really. That kind of goes against the whole tension, being the main driver of muscle.
It's a lot of stress too. I mean, they're constantly using those muscles like their legs and stuff to drive it, and they're creating more. They're adapting to more and more stress over time, whether that's how fast they're skating or how long they're skating.
There's a stress adaptation just the same, but I also think to compare a hockey player's legs to a bodybuilder's legs is like such a far cry. It's laughable. You know what I mean?
Well, how about
like,
a cyclist then?
They might be big compared to their small upper bodies and compared to the average person, but like they take off their pants and stand next to Fouad at 300 pounds. Like you're going to look like you have child's legs. You know what I mean?
How about a cyclist then, especially like a power cyclist?
Yeah, but those power cyclists, like that guy, that German guy that has the crazy quads, he also is like a 700-pound ass to grass squatter.
Yeah, so they do a lot of sports.
Videos of him holding like a 200-pound dumbbell and doing like fucking one-legged squats, you know?
Yeah.
These guys he's insanely strong through an entire full range of motion all the time.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's move on. We had some guesses last week at the show. We all shit the bed in some way. Where the fuck am I here? Share. Ian fucking won again, I think, the motherfucker.
Yep. Did you again?
I think so.
Stu was Stu, man.
What was Stu?
Shit
6?
the bed.
Stu was 6.
You guys all fucked up with Stu.
What place was Stu? 6?
I saw him second though.
Stu and Stan.
Hey, could somebody tell me what place he was? 6 or 5?
Fifth.
I think he was 5.
So 3.
I'll get the places here.
Stu was 5.
Stan was 6, I think.
No, I think Stan was like 8.
Oh no, I think he was. You're right.
Yeah,
he was like 8th or something like that. Somebody tell me. Robin was 3rd. So
looked really good.
Boom, I got that.
Yeah, Robin was shredded.
I think I won because I got that.
No, you did not.
Hey, yeah, Stu was 5th. Slavoj was 6th. Stan was 8th. Yeah.
So 4 placings. So Ian's got 8, 10. That's a 0. Got 10.
Okay.
Mike, you have Stu is 5th. So 4, 1. That's good. Stan was, that's another 4. Tim was, so that's
3.
a 3. So wait, let me get rid
5,
of this.
9, 12.
12. Paul, you had
way off.
4, 1, 5. Wait, what's Stan? 8th or 9th?
5.
8.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, 5.
8th.
2.
I don't know. I can't believe I had Stan over.
Slavoj was 1. Yeah.
Yeah. So you had 5, 10, 12, 13. Stewart. Stu was 5th. Stan was Robin. Tim. Let's get rid of these. So we had 7, 8, 11.
Ooh, we should start doing?
Fuck.
We should start removing a high and low.
No, shut up. 4, 1. Tim was, that's another 1. Robin was 1. Stan 3. Oh fuck! I think Seth 7, 8, 9,
Ooh.
10.
Oh, tied.
Yeah.
Ian still stands.
Still undefeated.
We got shows the next 2 weeks, so don't we?
We got Chicago. We got to go over Chicago.
There's no way you're staying undefeated. I'm gonna put my mind to it this time.
But you guys have said every single week, and yet here we are.
Yeah. I know, but I've been picking with my heart. I'm gonna pick with my head now.
I'm sure
yeah, you picked Slavoj because with your heart, eh?
Yeah, I like Slavoj.
He's my boy.
Okay, let's go. This real quick, Mike. What the fuck, dude? What is this shit? I can't blow it up. I wish I could blow it up. This is as big as I can go. Wait, that's better. I can't play it because the music.
Is that your
in the
surgeon,
back.
Mike?
Yeah.
Looks like a
It
young
shows
guy.
They let my radiographer in the operating room, so you see them like hammering my shit.
Oh,
into
that's awesome.
place.
Watch this, Paul. Watch, it's disgusting. Oh, he's
yeah, I wanna see
reefing on
this.
your fucking. Oh my god.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Hammering your fucking hip.
Yeah.
Oh,
How is your
Wow.
hip? How
How's
is
it
your
healing?
hip doing?
It's great. Yeah, it feels great.
oh,
I boxed today. Did
Yeah,
everything.
first day.
3 weeks today. It's
And you're already moving.
Ian, you're going tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that. What,
Well, good luck, man.
Getting the elbow fixed?
Yeah.
What's it, 4-week recovery?
I don't know. I mean, the fucking the sheet they gave me with the pre and post op says like 16 weeks, but when I talked to the surgeon, he said like 3 or 4. You know
Really? Did you got to
What do
wear
you
a
guys-
sling?
what?
You got to put a sling on after?
I'm sure they'll have me in a sling at first because it's a joint that they'll probably
Yeah.
want to mobilize for a little bit, but I
Yeah.
don't know how. I know he said he does want me doing range of motion stuff like right away.
Okay. I hate wearing a sling.
How do you? I've never talked about it with you guys. BPC and TB. You guys big fans?
All for it. All for it.
I'm a fan now that they told me how to use it properly.
Yeah,
What
a
do you
lot of it, just nonstop.
I was I was injecting it into the actual location. So like
Oh.
I had
Oh, that's
So
fine.
you're re-injuring it as you're doing it.
Yeah.
no, not that it's
Good.
bad. Not that it's bad. It just fucking hurts. Like I had tricep tendon pain and I'm injecting into my fucking tricep tendon right here. I'm like,
I don't think that's doing it wrong. I think that's
Yeah.
probably doing
no,
it
no,
right. I think
Just aggravating it.
it's not necessarily. Yeah.
that's what I didn't know. They told me that's how I had to do it. And now these guys have informed me that it's basically systemic. So I can just inject it anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. I've had people swear to me too that you have to put it right in the injury, but the doctor said no.
I would have kept on doing it had I known it was like I could inject it anywhere. I stopped doing it because I'm like, I don't want to fucking inject my tricep tendon anymore.
You're trying to
I
let it
did that
heal.
for a long time too, shooting it right in the injury, thinking I had to. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Seth. Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering if you guys liked it. I was a big
I
fan of
did.
BPC.
I thought it really helped me with my pec tear last year.
I'll definitely hammer them after my elbow tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, are you taking any right now for your hip or no? Or are you just smashing
shout out to Merrick.
Are you just
Merrick came through for me.
or are you just smashing like 10 IUs of GH? Fucking-
No, I'm actually I don't use GH when I get out of surgery because I had it almost happen this time too, but it created a lot of unneeded swelling and inflammation around the wound.
Oh, because of the water retention.
Yeah. So my shoulder, I had that hematoma in my shoulder that ended up bursting. Like it just popped, and then I was getting the same thing happening with my hip, and as soon as I cut the GH, it stopped.
I just realized how nice your shirt was.
It is, eh?
Is that that's a
Some guy gave it to me.
What did I get?
it's a hostile shirt.
Yeah.
It's like wicked. I would just support each other.
You can't really see what it says. I'll just wear it right there.
Seth, where's all our shirts? We don't have any Accent Sled shirts. What the fuck?
I actually need to send you some new stuff, and I'm putting together a package in my head because you guys need to have the mold on salt flakes and then the soap that makes me gay. You guys need to try it. You're all getting care packages. We're gonna make it happen.
Can I send you the cheap shitty salt that I use? Just
No.
because? No, don't send it.
You remember that restaurant we went to before the UFC, the Harbor 60 place?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was-
great.
They have a salt there that's black and it's volcano salt, like volcanic something salt, and you like sprinkle it on. That's fucking good.
Okay, wait a minute. Ian, aren't you supposed to be coming here in like 2 weeks? How the fuck are you gonna come here with a fucked up elbow?
I'll be fine 2 weeks.
Tomorrow.
Guy's gonna ride a
I'm getting a scope done to like clean out some arthritis. I'm not getting fucking hip replacement.
This guy's gonna fucking ride a motorcycle like vibration at his fucking elbow like 2 weeks after surgery.
Dude, literally, it's just I just got a shit ton of arthritis. You're just gonna go in there in little tiny holes and just fucking chip it out.
All right. Well,
I might be completely underplaying this because I honestly have no idea. But in my head, they're not like doing anything to any soft tissue other than the incision. So I can't imagine it being that bad of a recovery.
Yeah. No cast though.
No cast. No.
Seth, if you want to come for a couple days, you're welcome to come get fucked up with us.
I'm
Yeah.
not in a motorcycle, dude.
No, not a
I don't
motorcycle.
either. But driving the car with me, Seth.
No.
You're in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not that part. I just meant like the hanging out, barbecuing,
Yeah.
having a couple drinks part.
Do you sell your other bike yet?
No, I have 3.
Okay, well, don't sell that one until I come.
No, no one's gonna buy it, dude. I have it listed for like way too much money.
Oh, okay.
You don't really want to sell it.
I do want to sell it, but I'm trying to
But
get
only
back.
if they're going to pay $40,000 for it.
I'm trying to get some of the money I put into it. So like, it's probably a little too expensive. But if anybody listening wants to buy a Harley Davidson Bull Rider, yeah, please.
Yeah, just buy it in like a month.
Yeah, yeah. After Iain destroys it. Okay. Going back to
After I do it.
going back to the show. Buys and tries. He's got to be here somewhere. No? Yeah, there he is. Boom.
This show's stacked, dude.
Chicago Pro Slavoj, Paul. There you go.
Slavoj.
Did you think it said Slavoj?
That's what I thought. No,
I think it's actually Slavoj.
Or Slavoy?
I like
That's
Bednar.
Slavoj.
I like
Slavo.
I
I
like
think
the
the J
last one.
silent.
Do you think we can
That
find?
sounds like a Viking.
on Google how to say it?
Wait. You think the J is silent for no reason other than
Yeah.
you just think that.
Well, a
Who,
lot
me?
of European.
No,
Very common. Very
Paul.
common.
You don't pronounce the J. A lot of European
Never
languages,
say
you
the
don't
J.
pronounce the J
That's
silent.
not true.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
No.
may not be silent, but it's
You're
not
thinking
a
of like
sound.
you're thinking of like Hispanic fucking
Like-
word.
It's
But
a
in
tell us
my
there,
head, it works that
Djokovic.
way.
Djokovic.
Okay, go back. Christopher.
Oh, I was right.
What? You're right about what?
Lavoy.
1 second.
Lots of name pronunciation or names from philosophy stadium.
Sorry, do it again.
Right?
Slavoy.
Slavoy.
See,
Slavoy.
it's a Y, not a J. It's not a J. It's a U.
Slavoy. Yeah.
Not a J.
J is a Y.
Paul, show us your hair. I love it. Show me your hair.
It's coming in. I'm happy with the growth on the side. Right around the first couple inches from the bottom to the
Well, I don't think
crown.
many people are losing the side of their head, Paul.
No, I guess, but
We
right
don't
here
think
too.
you
I'm a
actually
little bit
lose that hair
surprised.
at all.
The bangs are coming in a little bit, but there's
Bangs.
a big spot right here that nothing.
we were
at all.
drinking our pre-workouts today, and we were talking about it. And he's 2.5 weeks in, and I said, "Dude, all I'm waiting for is for the side hair to connect to the ear. You know where the side? It's gonna look so bad.
But you said I can get it trimmed up to
No.
mid-ear.
Yeah, only the sideburns,
Yeah.
which I don't know why you'd want to do anyway, because the worst look ever is like shaved sideburns and like some hair on top.
Oh, I fade though. I'm gonna fade it.
Oh, you're gonna fade it, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Then I'm
only
gonna-
you can only fade the sideburns. You can't fade this part.
Yeah, I know.
Just right
But
here.
I can also clean up my neck.
No,
and
you
my
can't
ears
clean up-
too. I
no.
can clean up my neck. My neck isn't part of my
What
head.
if we let you cut your hair, but you have to keep the neck hair for 2 months?
The worst thing about my neck hair or trap hair is that it's so itchy. That's the worst part about it.
I
You have
told
to wear
my
white shirts all the time, so it just protrudes out the back. Like I can't shave my neck; they won't let me.
My traps get really hairy too.
I'm doing it with Paul out of support. I haven't.
He
I haven't-
says that he's gonna be getting.
No, I
his
haven't
cut in a
looked.
week
It's
or
still
two.
it's growing in. It's just a lot
Wait
less
till you
than
get to
yours.
this stage, and then we'll see how long you're in it for.
I don't think my hair's ever
I
gonna grow
appreciate
that
the
long.
support though, Fouad. I appreciate the support.
I don't have to,
I-
Paul. I'm doing it for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but
And
I don't think you're going to be in it for the long haul with me. But we said though, if Andrew beats Rubiel, which apparently now
they're
he
not
is doing the
competing.
show,
Oh, he is.
apparently
back.
Andrew's in now. From what I
Oh,
saw.
okay. Let's bring this up then. If he's back, which didn't think he was.
I just saw last night. I think on Nick's
I
Drinking
thought he
Power that he's
confirmed
doing
he was
it.
doing. I thought he was confirmed doing Texas.
Dubai apparently because the prize money's so big. Even second place is getting 40 grand apparently.
All right, so me and Paul made this bet. We were sitting around drinking our pre-workouts and we were talking about it. It's the day I messaged you, Iain. I said that I think Rubiel can beat Andrew. And Paul said there's no fucking way. So we were making an extended bet. So he's got to grow his hair for an additional 8 weeks.
No. We did not say that.
What do you
We
mean?
did not say that.
What
at
did we
all.
say
Not
then?
8 weeks. Come on, that's ridiculous. I'm not going 4 months without a haircut.
Okay, 6.
No,
4.
I'm not. No, I'm
Extra
maybe
4
I'll
weeks.
push it a week, maybe an extra 4. No,
Then what are we betting?
I'm
Nothing.
not keeping this. I'm not doing nothing. No, but I get to end mine because you're so confident, Rubiel. I get to cut.
I think
get to just
Rubiel.
get a
I think
haircut at that
Rubiel is
moment.
going to beat Andrew.
No, that's it. Then.
I don't know.
That's a bet.
I think Rubiel's going to be. I think he's in the
I
shock.
actually
No
don't.
way.
I actually don't know on that one. That's hard.
I think he's going to shock the fucking world, man. I'm telling you, he's coming.
I haven't
think in
seen
1 year's
anything
time
of
he's-
Rubiel.
I think the aesthetics aren't there nearly in the same regard, obviously, but I think he is so like, especially in side shots, he's gonna be very overwhelming for Andrew. Yeah.
I think the gap from the back is going to be too much. I don't
Well,
think in
well,
1 year's time.
No,
But
Andrew's not as strong, very strong from the back.
Andrew's
He's a lot
Andrew's
stronger than Rubiel was last year from the back, though. I think.
Maybe, but like not much. I mean, Rubiel, where he's lacking is detail in the hamstrings and a little bit of width and thickness in the back, which is kind of where Andrew is as well. You know.
But I also find Rubiel narrow in the shoulders. And
he does have narrow.
Crazy.
Well, he's narrow in the shoulders only because he
off.
has like 60-inch quads. You know.
Yeah, right, but I think there's nothing. I don't know. There's much you can do about that. Like he'll be able to make himself a bit wider in the shoulders and the back for sure. But I don't know if he's ever going to be able to close that gap enough to look symmetrical.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
Listen, this is a crazy. You definitely have the upper hand in this bet.
Well, Andrew's the favorite,
more
for sure.
more people would say that Andrew. I just think Rubiel's made significant. Listen, I always get burned by fucking social media, so I could be wrong. But Rubiel looks like he's made significant changes.
He
from
does.
Last year.
That video that was a little while ago. Yeah, it looks nuts. And I'd love to see him, be that nuts. But I just don't think he's.
No, you wouldn't, because if you do, he wins. You're gonna have to grow your hair.
So I don't. I want him to be good, but not great.
Well, you have to bet something, Paul. You can't just be like, I bet, and I'm so certain.
Okay, I'll go an extra
4 weeks.
How many more weeks do I have left right now? I got 4 weeks left.
No, you don't have 4 weeks left. You've only done 2.5 weeks.
To 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks tomorrow. So what was the bet originally? 6 weeks?
8.
8. So I got 5 weeks left. So I'll add on another week. I'll tack on a week.
2. You gotta do 10 weeks.
You got a calendar?
Make it even.
Let me see a calendar.
You got to do 2. You got to do 2. You got to do 2, and I'll do 4.
I can't be showing up like with hair like that.
Why do you think people care? But just wear a hat.
Yeah.
I can't wear a
Wear
hat.
do-rag. Wear do-rag.
Okay, guys, let's go.
Get your waves going, man.
You know what? People watching, I'm curious what you guys think. And obviously the most popular pick is probably going to be Andrew, but comment below what you guys think. Andrew or Rubiel, if they are competing against each other.
Yeah.
It'd be to the end of August, Paul.
If I added on the 2 weeks, Seth, or is that
you added right on now? If you made it 6 more weeks, 5 weeks from now is like 3rd week of August.
So if you made it 10 weeks,
you'd have to go to the end of August.
Fuck.
What do you got to do? You got to judge
a lot of stuff in August.
You got to judge. You think people care what you look like?
I'm going to Mexico. I'm looking like a freaking homeless.
What are you going to hang out on the beach? You're not allowed to go nowhere.
No, I got to look professional.
Mexico without us, bro.
I'm going there to judge a show.
Oh, that's nice.
He didn't invite us. You didn't see Mike? He didn't even invite us. Just like
I did invite you, Fouad. It's just a quick weekend, and it's going to be Cancun in August.
I might still go. I might still go with you. I might still go with you. We can ride Vespas together.
I could use a
ride a Vespa with you. Let's go. Let's all meet in Cancun. I'll extend my trip a couple days.
I'll ride a Vespa with you. He says. All right. I'm not sure who Christopher is. Somebody correct me. Tim, Phil Klahar, Stan. Phil Klahar's still going.
I'm pretty sure that this Christopher Burner guy just died today, actually.
2 days.
Oh, I just saw that too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Our condolences go out. I didn't know him, so I'm sorry, but
I think AJ knew him. He put a post up.
Yeah. Does anybody know the cause?
No.
All right, we'll just move on from that. Apologies.
R.I.P.
Yes.
Phil Klahar still going at it. Isn't he like 52 now?
Something like that. Yeah.
Stan, Nathan Epler, Mo Fouad.
Ross says in the comments he's doing the show. He's just not added to the list. Is that real?
Well, I thought you had to get your thing.
No, I just saw.
Ross is not doing the show.
No, he's not in shape, man. This is him right now.
You're off season.
Fucking troll, this guy. Got me. God damn
it. Nathan Epler, Mo Fouad, Jordan Hutch. Fuck, this is a good show. Brady King. This is Paul. This is your boy here. Sang Chao Lee. Justin Mackey. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah.
Reese McDonald. I don't know. Hassan Mustafa.
Yeah.
Fuck, this is a deep show. Robin Strand, Vlad, and Jan, Liang Yan. Isn't that really little thick dude
from last year? Yeah, I think so.
I think it is.
Fuck, this is going to be a heavy duty one.
It's a few debuts in there too.
Okay, so my initial top 5 standout, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to go with Mo, Jordan, Tim, Nathan. No, wait. Yeah.
Bill.
This is hard, man.
Robin,
I'm going to put 5th.
It's good.
And you're gonna have
Dude.
Phil Klahar out of the top 5. He won this show beating
Yeah.
Hassan last year.
Yeah.
No, he's
Phil
got
was in the Olympia. Wasn't he in the Olympia last year, Phil?
Yeah,
father.
because he won Chicago.
Yeah, he won Chicago.
Father Time's got to catch up with him eventually.
He looks
I
good in
agree.
the video that I saw of him. His back looked crazy.
Does he? All right, let's take a look at him.
Is there a recent video?
I saw one just the other day. He was doing.
We don't want to count out Phil. We can never count out Phil. He's always incredible. Klahar, there he is. Let's see. Is this him?
He's doing shoulder raises with a barbell.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. His skin still looks good, man. Can you believe
I
that?
think Nathan. I
Can
think
we see?
Nathan's going to be. I really hope Nathan comes in bigger. I think he's going to be tough.
Fouad, share your screen so we can see Phil.
Oh, I'm
Here's
looking at it by
Jordan.
myself.
Welcome
I'm
to the
looking forward to
party.
seeing Jordan.
I'm like, oh, he looks great.
Oh,
His back.
fucking hell.
52 years old.
Paul, you're 52. How come you don't look like that?
My back's not as good, but other than that,
But the rest is pretty close. Yeah.
yeah, my waist is just as small.
No,
It's not for range of motion.
Uh, all right. Let's have some fun. Here we go. I'm gonna go with Mo Fuda.
To win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Me too.
Wow.
That he was the guy that I just saw. I was looking at this earlier this morning during cardio, and I'm
I
like,
mean,
that
he was 5th at a
Impressive.
European
Who
show
is-
last year.
Who in
Yeah,
this
he's
show is
impressive.
guided by Stefan? Because I'm putting them in the
Mo,
top
Mo
five.
Fuda.
Mo
Oh.
Fuda.
Anyone else? Anyone else that he's?
I think it's
he
just
spelled
F,
his
I
last
think
name
it's just
wrong.
FODA. Fouad.
Yeah, it's only one O, Fouad.
Oh, that doesn't look right.
So you guys are all putting Mo in first.
I got him first.
I got him first.
You all have him first.
Yeah, but I actually got him first. They had just copied off me.
Yeah, well,
I
I
was
will
looking at
not be
that.
putting him first.
Who are you
Oh.
putting first?
I don't know.
Oh wait, I forgot. I forgot the new.
I don't know.
I forgot the new rules. You can't change it once it's in the box.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
none of you.
Well,
can
well,
change
then
that.
we got to see a live list while we're picking that.
yeah, it's a tough one.
No, it's in the box, Paul. That's it. You said it.
Well, I'm not changing my pick, but I still want to see a live.
box.
You can't
What's
change your
in the
pick. It's in the
box?
box.
What's Justin Mackey look like right now?
Isn't he a
Uh,
monster?
No, the last time I
Mhm.
saw pictures, he looked similar
think I saw
similar
last-
to what he looked like a couple of years ago. He used to be sponsored by Hostile.
Yeah.
He a good dude. He just
Nice physique.
he runs like 2 or 3 other fucking businesses, and I don't know if you can ever maximize your potential when you're doing all those things.
I like Justin's look from the front.
Yeah, Justin's got a great physique from the front.
hmm
Hassan Mustafa is a good one too.
I saw a picture of him too. It didn't look.
Pull up
right for
Jordan.
me.
Jordan Hutchison.
I like Jordan.
Is it his second year or third year?
Second year.
First,
Second
Jordan
year.
Hutchinson.
Yeah, he competed. He did like one show last year.
Oh man,
This is the most recent.
You're not sharing again.
Oh fuck. Sorry.
From
He's in shape.
there you go.
he's flat here too.
Yeah,
I think Mo is going to be fucking special though.
I think so too.
Let's take a look at Mo for people who don't know what I'm talking about.
He looks crazy.
It is two.
It is 2 O's.
Oh wow!
whoa.
No,
Oh, it
see, look,
is. Oh, I'm
Look,
sorry.
look at his actual name in the profile. It's not.
Food.
Spoda.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
Look at this physique. Now he needs a little bit more back, but other than that, this guy is special.
thick.
Like to me, I love this. It's so balanced, so proportionate.
dense.
And if he was a little bit more shredded last year, he would have been much better, I think. But now he's working with Stefan.
Oh, was he with
And-
Hani last year?
He was, but look, Stefan has a way with his athletes, man. I'm not saying
For
he's
sure.
better than Hani, but like,
Bro, this dude's nasty.
Yeah, he is.
look at this shit.
Oh.
He didn't win a show last year, did he?
No, he was like 4th or 5th, I think.
He was Romania where he took like
Yeah.
fourth, I think.
But just like look at this front double, man. Like fuck.
But then it scares me that like because he was fifth at like a European show.
Well,
know?
I think it was one, his conditioning, and two, his back does
I
leave
think his
something.
conditioning was good though, wasn't it? Pull up a shot
No,
from that.
no,
This is it.
No, his conditioning was off compared to the other guys. And I think there was a little bit of him being overlooked as well. Because I remember doing the breakdown for that afterwards, Ian, and we were all like,
because he is coming up from the 212. Like he is like a smaller guy in structure, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like he's not a big dude. Like
no, he compared size-wise. Look, this is him. I mean, the angle is off, but like he compares size-wise. Like Horse is a big fucking dude structure-wise.
yeah, I mean, that was a pretty crazy lineup. So I guess coming fifth is not like a
Yeah, with them four.
Like these are all Olympians. Well,
yeah,
I mean, they're all Olympians. But like, look at this package standing next to. I think I remember doing the breakdown for this, and some of us said that he got overlooked.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Let's see what the back looks like. Yeah, see, this is the one spot. Like his legs are good, glutes are good, but the back leaves a little bit. But I mean, he's beating Horse in this shot.
Yeah,
maybe not. There's a little bit more detail here, but
he'll be better. I think he'll be better.
Yeah, see the back lat spread leaves something to be desired still, but I think he's got another year under his belt, and he's working with Stefan, so who knows? There's the lat spread there. Okay, let's go back.
I really have no goddamn idea who to put in first in this.
I don't need.
Put Phil. Do it, Ian.
Fuck.
Do it for us. So we can't.
I really think Mo. I really think Mo has the best chance.
Tim's coming off second place, right?
Yeah.
I think he's just going to be too small when you put him next to like some of these guys, you know.
I don't know.
Like
We just looked at him next to Horse, and he looked like not that small at all.
He's so round and full. I don't think he'll look small next to anybody.
To me,
structure-wise, maybe
size-wise, he reminds me of Tim a little bit. Like he's not structurally massive.
Cool,
Nathan Epler.
Nathan looks fucking sick. I think he's just a little too small now. He really appreciate his conditioning's good.
I don't think Nathan has put on enough size, but his shape could carry him.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the prettier physiques up there for sure.
But like you see the difference.
You're not sharing again.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
You think Nathan?
Sorry, I'm off tonight, guys. Here's a standing shot.
Oh, there's a video up there, top right.
I know. Just hold on a minute before we go. Like we're just looking. See, everything's proportionate. Everything's very detailed. I just don't feel like it's gonna carry enough size or mass.
There's not enough of it yet
to beat someone like Jordan Hutchison or Mo Fuda, or like, you know, I just don't see him being. Maybe I see him being in the top 5. I just don't know if I see him beating the bigger guys. What do you guys think?
I think it looks great, but I think there's still needs to be a bit more on there. Yeah, I do really like his look though.
Seth, what do you think?
I think the same thing. I think I could see him in the top 5 in that 4, 5, 6 position, but a lot depends. It's just the size for him.
Yeah. His shape and conditioning will carry him into the higher spots, but I don't know how high. Like there's 20 guys competing, so he's going to beat minimum 12 of them, but I don't know how far it'll go.
Big show.
It's a matter of how much the gap size wise is.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because we just looked at Jordan Hutchison and Mo Fuda, and they're carrying a lot more size. So I don't think he can beat them, but then that puts him in third. Then you got to think to yourself, can Robin Strand?
That's where I'm thinking. Like
Robin's like he's missing body parts, but he's such a big guy and he gets conditioned.
Right.
Is he going to be able to beat Nathan?
Right. That's where I see him battling.
I'm sitting this show out. I don't want to bet on this one.
No, you have to.
Can I change my pick?
But only if everybody agrees.
I'm okay with it.
You guys never agree with me.
Anyway, Paul.
Don't agree then, Paul.
But now you owe me one, Mike. You owe me one.
I've never stopped you before.
Okay. Go ahead, Mike. What do you want to do?
Put Phil in first.
Yeah.
There we go.
Fouad in second.
Fuck, man. I actually have no fucking clue here, to be honest.
Come on, Ian, stop fucking around.
I don't know.
I'll take Phil in second, Fouad.
This is gonna be my downfall on this show, I think.
It's a tough one.
You're afraid of losing the belt, Ian?
I was on
Yeah.
the Tim train. I
That'll
don't
happen
think,
eventually.
I think Tim's coming in again. I don't know if he's
Yeah.
gonna.
Tim's gonna look good again too. I think Tim's getting better as he goes.
Yeah.
Pick him for second then, Paul.
No, you pick him for second, Fred. I think Tim will be third.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here.
What are you doing, Ian?
I'm putting Jordan Hutchinson first.
Oh,
I like it. I like it.
I don't.
I like it.
Done.
Look at you. You're
The
gonna
reign
lose
is
sleep over
over.
that one, Ian.
Yeah,
You're gonna lose
Reign
sleep
is
over that one.
Failed.
this
Finally, the king has fallen.
weekend.
You don't know?
Okay, who do you got in second, Seth or Ian?
Fuck, I don't fucking know, man. This is hard.
It's a
This is
tough one.
This
I
is a
really
very tough
like.
one.
So where I am, I think that Fuda, I really like him. This morning I was looking at him during cardio, like I was like, this guy. And I'm glad you guys feel the same.
Mhm.
But I'm Jordan, Tim are where I'm just like those two. I want to see them stand next to each other. It's going to be exciting. But I'm leaning. I'm worried that Tim might have shot the majority of his shot this past weekend, and Jordan's going to come in peaked. That's where I am with it. And then I really like Nathan. But Robin was in that same category. Did he shoot his shot last week?
No, Robin will be conditioned again.
That's what I mean. Like
Robin's never not.
Robin is a bodybuilder. Listen, as somebody who did not have a perfect physique, Robin is one of those guys that knows that if he's not shredded, he will not be in the top 5. Like there's no, like he doesn't have any room for error. I think he knows that.
I think Robin takes pride too in his conditioning.
Well, I just think when you have a physique that is like missing some body parts, you start to overcome those things by being extremely fucking shredded. So you have something over everybody else. And I think Robin will probably do that again because he knows that's his ace in the hole.
Mike, have you seen Hassan? Is he in shape or what?
I've seen Robin. Robin's in shape, obviously.
Yeah, Robin Spiel. I want to know because like Hassan could win the show, but like his outing in Toronto was less than spectacular.
I saw a picture of him in a tank top and didn't look shredded in a tank top, but it's a tank top.
Yeah,
If you don't look shredded in a tank top,
you're screwed.
Okay, Seth or Ian, somebody step up.
I'm just gonna spit. I'm gonna spit out my whole top 5, and I'm just going right now. Okay.
Go.
Yep.
Hutchinson, Foda, Tim, Phil, Nathan, Robin.
Doing 6?
Yeah, we'll probably need 6. I don't fucking know.
Doing 6, okay.
I'm just giving her.
I was gonna do the same thing and then I got scared.
I'll do mine.
I'm gonna go.
I'll do mine.
No, wait.
No. We got to vote on it. Yeah.
Okay. You're right, Paul. You're right. Okay.
You go 7.
Go.
Go 8.
Go.
Can I see the list, please?
Oh, fucking you always.
Oh,
See the
man.
list? I got to make sure I don't leave anybody
What
out.
is wrong with you, man?
I got to make sure I don't leave anybody
You're
out.
the only guy that does this.
You piece of
Can you use
shit.
that word in a sentence?
Okay, come on.
Jordan, 3rd.
Okay, 1 second. Jordan. Yep.
Phil, 4th.
Phil. Yep.
5th, Robin.
Robin.
6th, Nathan.
Are we throwing Vlad?
Oh, wait a minute, I
here
forgot.
too?
Did I put Tim in there anywhere?
Too late.
Fuck.
What about Vlad? Are any of us?
Oh, I forgot about Vlad.
I didn't forget about Vlad. Vlad let me down.
Yeah.
Vlad let me down last year. I've written him off ever since.
I saw a picture where he looks shredded right now.
Dude,
Really?
the one year he posted pictures, I was like, this guy is gonna kill everyone. And then his stage pictures look totally different.
Really? Okay.
But this, I keep getting fooled by fucking social media. Like,
Yeah, I
okay,
think he's big and he's lean, but I think his shape isn't great, and I don't think it flows super nicely on stage, so it's hard in this lineup. He's gonna
Yeah.
outmuscle some of these guys, but I don't know.
Tim, then Nathan Fouad for me. I'm done.
no. You put it, it's in the box, bitch. Go ahead, Seth.
I wanted asterisk. I actually wanted Tim to be fifth.
No, it doesn't matter.
I'll make note of that, please, somebody. I want to make sure that
And the records, the
you
record
know
keepers.
that I wanted Tim to be fifth, not seventh.
Yeah, we're picking. Well, if I gotta pick a seventh, I'm gonna put Hassan in seventh. Then.
Ooh, the fuck.
Sam seventh?
Okay, somebody go, Mike.
It's gonna be
Right.
Hassan.
Hutchison, third. Tim, Robin. Hassan, Nathan.
I like it.
Who did you leave out? Oh, I got Jan in seventh.
I'm gonna go with
You're losing.
I'm gonna go with Hutchinson, then Tim. Robin and Nathan is where I'm at here.
Phil's gonna be so mad at you.
I'm gonna go
Such a mishmash of people.
I'm gonna go Robin,
Yeah.
Nathan, Phil.
Robin, Nathan, Phil. One more.
One more.
Vlad, Hassan, Stan.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't even know what Vlad looks like. I don't know
Yeah,
why
let's-
it's not popping up in my head.
Let's take a look.
Well, when we look at him, you're gonna put him to win the show. So be
Yeah.
careful.
That's why I want to put him up. That's why I want to put him up there.
You might not. You might
Put him
not
in
want
there.
to look.
Let's see it.
You
Let's
might
see
not
it.
want to look. Yeah. Because this is gonna confuse the shit out of you.
Oh, what the fuck?
This is
This guy lets you guys down. Oh,
so bad, dude.
I don't know how this did this. I know who this is.
Look at this. I saw these photos before, and I was like, "This guy's gonna win the Olympia."
Yeah.
That's 3 weeks out from this show. So I mean, maybe we could all be fuck. Maybe we got to change up here and put him in.
I'm-
you know?
You can't change.
Can't change.
Yeah, but see, then you see this, and you're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at legs look downsized, waist looks
Well,
long.
and the legs, yeah, the legs are short, the waist is long, and the arms like and the flow looks weird in both the shots. You know.
That's why it's tough because you got to look at everything. It's like back lat spread's not bad. This is all pretty
He's
good.
very
but-
conditioned and he is very big, though. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's super big, super big. He's got a long torso. Who else was like this years ago? There was another competitor years ago, like when we were all coming up.
There's something. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
I don't know. The only long waisted people I can think of are Nathan.
Ben Mikulski.
Ben had a long waist.
this was years ago. There was somebody that looked that were super similar to him. Can't remember.
I don't know. Okay, going back, Seth. Come on.
Paco Batista.
Oh man, I just started seeing stuff of him.
Me too, on Instagram.
Seth, I need one more. Come on, man. Knock it out.
Throw Vlad in there.
I'm throwing Vlad in
Yeah.
just to be that guy.
All right.
Let's go. Let's go.
I don't
All
feel
right.
good about mine at all, but I mean, fuck.
I don't think any of us are going to get anywhere near.
This is a
Yeah,
tough
right.
show. This is actually
It's a
going
tough one
to
to
be.
pick.
This is exciting. This is great. I'm pumped.
Okay, you guys talk. I got to piss my pants.
Okay.
And then in 2 weeks is Dubai, right?
What?
2 weeks is Dubai.
Yeah, where'd you see that Andrew's doing Dubai?
Next Strength and Power.
Really?
Isn't he in
Yeah.
Dubai? Doesn't he train there? Or is he train somewhere else?
I think he does train there, yeah. Because I saw that Nick was saying that because the second place money is so big that a lot of guys are going to do it just because they may not expect to win, but hope for even a second place, nice
I
payday
mean, I'm looking at Nick's Strength and Power here.
Yeah.
on his YouTube.
Yeah. Nick's
And you
Strength-
said Rubiel's doing Dubai?
Apparently, There's supposed to be a lot of guys doing Dubai. Apparently Nathan's doing it too. Bonac.
Where'd you see?
Konak's doing it.
I watched his latest video last night. I always watch Next Strength and Power. I like his videos.
It was his latest video.
It was what he did the Chicago predictions.
Bro, is Rubiel not a fucking alien or what?
Man, is he ever?
God.
Those legs are
Got a
nuts.
myostatin deficiency. They need to
Yeah.
test that dude.
Yeah, yeah. He must be. He looks like
Dude, I'm
a little
looking at
bit
this.
of
He's a
looking at him
walking
in the-
Belgian blue ball. He's literally a walking Belgian blue ball.
Where do you, I don't see that anywhere in this video at all.
I watched it last night. I'm sure he said it.
Were you high when you watched it?
Well,
No. Maybe I dreamt it. Maybe I saw a video.
I'll try to find it, Ian. Hang on.
Hey, dude, Rubiel is fucking wild looking right now. I don't know how I didn't see this.
What did I miss?
So 2 days ago, there's one with the pictures with Andrew with that huge girl. You know,
What are we looking at?
we're where that he heard that Andrew is doing.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that anywhere
Oh.
either.
Yeah,
I'll try to find it.
because I had just seen that it was announced that he's not doing it. He's only doing Texas.
That's what I saw too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still a fun debate to have though, because if they meet at the Olympia, it'll be fun.
What's Hunter doing?
Hunter's doing
Italy.
one show.
Italy.
Yeah, but I think Rubiel is also doing that show.
Yeah.
So
I think Hunter can beat Rubio.
you do?
Don't
Yeah.
tell Fouad that.
No.
Sorry, Fouad. I'm just.
I think Hunter is big as fuck right now, so he can hold his own size wise, and I think he's just very complete front to back, and he has good shape. I think he'll be hard to beat for. I think it'll be a good battle, but I think that he is still better overall than Rubiel. He's more developed and mature for sure.
I think, like we said, Rubiel would end up in that second group at the Olympia, which is like a Hunter, Andrew,
I agree.
whatever, maybe Martin. I personally think Rubiel is either the best of that group or right behind Andrew. Because Andrew beat Hunter last year.
Yeah, Hunter looks fucking big this year, though.
That was a very close contest. Didn't they go against each other?
Listen,
twice?
Hunter's an incredible fucking bodybuilder. Like incredible. But I gotta stop watching. I gotta stop looking at social media so much. I just think Rubiel is like really blowing me away a bit.
Bro, I'm watching it right now, and this dude is
Something else, right?
it is wild.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, let's do some questions. How does Regan maintain his boyish looks?
I know.
Look at this fucking
Dude, he's gonna age like fine wine too. You know that motherfucker's gonna be.
look at this
handsome
guy.
as
He's the
fucking
only
40
he's the
years
only
old.
bodybuilder. He's the only bodybuilder I know that like where is this? Why isn't it not coming
He's
up?
like in his 30s now, you know?
He's the only bodybuilder I know that like
You're not sharing your screen, by the way. I don't know if you know that again.
in the off season with like fat face, he looks even better.
Yeah.
I'm like, how's that possible? Like, look how fat his face is. He's like better looking.
Yeah, he's got not a wrinkle anywhere.
Paul, what do you think? This
He's
is
just, he just is very young looking. Like,
Yeah, he is.
he's definitely got a nice fat head on him, but he looks like he's 25.
Paul, this is your area of expertise. What do you think?
Yeah, I got to hand it to Regan. He's a good looking kid. He's got he's got a lot going on.
Look at this run. It's actually pretty good for a 300 fucking pounder.
Yeah, he's pretty athletic, isn't he?
Yeah. Didn't he race motocross or something like that?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
That's my next purchase. I want to buy a dirt bike.
Nice.
Right? Paul, you should get one.
All dirt
If you
bikes.
fall, if you fall, you're fine on the grass. It's like not a
Yeah.
big deal.
You know, and you don't
Sure.
worry about ruining your bike, you know?
Yeah. So who gives a shit? And you don't need to have insured or anything. You're only riding in the woods.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Let's do some questions. Let's try and answer more than like 3. What is the weirdest food combination you ate while either on prep or in the off season?
White fish with peanut butter.
Oh, nice.
Peanut sauce, though. I can see that. Like Thai food kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would bake it. I would bake like almond butter or natural peanut butter on white fish in the oven.
I did oatmeal. I did oatmeal with ground beef and ketchup. I tried to make like
Oh,
I tried to make like a meatloaf.
You're trying to make like shepherd's pie or something? Like,
that's a rough
I
one.
made the oatmeal and I made the ground beef. Then I mixed them together. I put them in like this baking pan, like the banana bread ones, and I put it in the oven. I tried to make, and I ate it too. I was like, oh, I'm dieting. At least it's delicious. I'm like, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this in the off season. I was like, no, never.
That's a rough one, dude.
And then he had a second part to his question. For Mike, what is the dumbest thing you've ever seen someone doing in the gym?
Cool.
Crossbody, sideways sitting, rear delt.
Rear delts.
I knew he was going to say that.
Paul or Seth, what's the weirdest food combination you've ever had?
I'm not beating you guys. I'm not the peanut. If you did peanut butter and some soy sauce, that's a peanut sauce. But
yeah,
I can't beat the oatmeal and ground beef. I'm stupid simple.
I'm a fat kid at heart, dude. I don't do anything.
Dude, for sure.
Paul, anything?
I'll do peanut butter and chicken.
That's fine. Though.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I guess
I think doesn't Walker do that for fun? I think
Walker eats like almost all his meals with like cinnamon, nut butter, or almond butter, and like chicken. You know?
Really?
Who do you think are the three best ambassadors of the sport who are still actively competing in any division? I think Chris has to be one.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Sure.
I think people are gonna say I'm biased, but I think Samson's a good one only because he travels so much and he's like
so friendly,
always trying to meet people and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say Derek, I think, I don't know, like he's got that clean cut thing going on. Mm-hmm. No? Yeah. Did you guys agree with those three? Maybe Urs? I could throw Urs in there. He travels a lot. He's like
a lot of those guys like Urs and Ramon are like massive in their domain.
Yeah,
you know? Like
yeah, but
like,
if we had to pick three,
following is like it's ridiculous, you know.
Right, but if we had to pick three, we're agreeing on Chris and who else?
Let's only pick one from only one from a division, you know.
Okay, well then Chris from bodybuilding, who are we going to go with? Derek?
I think Derek's doing a good job. Like he traveled a lot. He did go all over the world. He was in Korea. He was everywhere. But
you know who else is pretty good? I mean,
Hottie is probably the most popular bodybuilder. No.
Yeah, but I don't think you can be an ambassador for bodybuilding if you don't travel and meet fans and do stuff like that.
Yeah, but like this guy will show up back home after the Olympia and he'll have a fucking parade, you know?
And maybe there's a lot of appearances there.
He's like a hero in his country.
I guess an ambassador would be somebody who's done something to move the sport forward.
Right, promotes the sport.
I know you. That's hard to say.
Jay was probably one of the best ever.
Yeah, Jay was the best for sure. Yeah.
I think it's been tough for the Mr. Olympias to do that, given that we haven't had like reigning Mr. Olympia for multiple years to get that gauge of their like ambassadorness.
Yeah,
we have someone like Coleman or Cutler, Phil.
Ronnie was good.
Phil.
Everyone knows fucking Ronnie.
What'd you say?
Everyone knows Rami for sure.
Ronnie Coleman.
Oh, Ronnie. I thought you said Rami.
Oh, did you guys hear about Rami as well? That he's not doing this Olympia.
So
yeah, it's like
doing the Arnold.
I think I'm the most bummed out about it.
Yeah,
he's my boy.
Any updates at all? Any updated pictures at all?
No. What are the odds that you think he actually does the Arnold are?
Small. Yeah. Small to none.
I think he's got enough money and he probably don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. National Poutine Eating Championship, August 10th in Toronto. Will you guys attend and cover the event?
Cover it.
I'll join it.
Is this the promoter you've been asking us? Like, will they pay us to come down and do it?
No, I don't know.
Poutine.
The guy's name is Juby Can Eat, so I'm assuming he's one of the contestants.
Oh yeah, I think I follow that guy. He's a big eater.
Why do you follow him? Why do you follow him?
Big fan of his eating.
He started following me, so I checked him out, and he's an eating champion.
Is that all it takes? So if somebody follows you, you follow back?
A lot of times, yeah.
I've got some poutine.
He's on that follow for follow stuff, you know?
I don't know. I just figured it was interesting.
Paul, I think you must be the nicest human.
I don't do it with everybody, Fouad.
On earth.
But he does eat a lot of crazy food.
In public, but not in private. You're a huge dick, and there's nobody knows that.
Not all the time, but often.
Thoughts on JP's training based on 3 sleeps? Upper, lower, rest, then repeat. I don't know. I've never seen that. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what JP's doing now, like an upper, lower, rest, repeat kind of thing. Yeah.
Honestly, this is sounds so stupid after our hour-long argument. I think anything can fucking work as long as you're consistent.
Yep.
Not just split wise. I'm talking about anything. I'm talking about
it can work for some people. I think at the upper levels, I think it's different. But I think yes, especially with splits, I think people boggle their minds over fucking splits. It's probably the least important thing of all time.
I don't want to get into this argument again, but how many people have we seen with shit form that are actually amazing bodybuilders? I really think that anything can work as long as you apply it consistently.
The thing is, it's hard to have any of these discussions is because like we'll throw into in the conversations and all this anecdotal evidence and use guys like Ronnie or this or that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, the thing is bodybuilding is so largely genetic. It's like, it's impossible to say that what works and what doesn't. And when you're regarding other people's training, because like, you know, a lot of guys can get away with a lot of shit. I mean, there's guys that can fucking eat pizza. Like there's Michael Lockett's of the world that can eat fucking, you know, like Texas Roadhouse for dinner every night and still be peeled out of his mind.
Like
like some people, they can't even like, they got to eat, like Hassan Mustafa is eating 0 calories and can't even get in shape.
I know.
So, and I think training is the same thing. It's like, we'll talk about like, well, this guy does this and this guy does this. And obviously it works. And like, obviously it works. It's like, well, does it? Or is it just that they are a fucking absolute freak, you know?
You're going to love this one, Ian. Ian loves Ian loves the this or that's more than any other questions. Cardio or sleep? What's more important?
Go fuck yourself. Whoever wrote this, you're a fucking idiot.
Go fuck yourself.
They're both fucking important, you goddamn moron.
No, sleep is more important. Sleep is more important.
What was the other one? Sleep or what?
Cardio.
Okay, yeah, in that option, obviously it's sleep.
And then the second part of the question is, this is so weird, the combination. What do you think Canadians think of the attempt on Trump? We didn't talk about that. It was an assassination of a president. We didn't even fucking talk about it. I think it's fucking wild.
I think he's pretty badass for the way he got up and started pumping his fist to the audience.
Paul thinks it was staged.
I don't think it was staged, but I think there's
a lot of people agree with you.
Staged by who though, Paul?
I think, well, I mean, definitely the Trump side could benefit from it.
Me and Paul,
he's more popular now than ever.
Thinking logically, from that distance to shoot someone near their head and only hit their ear, you think that's easy?
Wait a minute.
I don't think it's easy, but I think people can do it though.
Wait.
They can do it.
What if
I'm just gonna, man?
Okay, before anybody kills me here, I don't think it was staged.
I don't think so either. I
think it was a horrible thing, but I just want to play devil's advocate for the fun of the conversation. Let's say he wasn't hit at all, and then when they took him to the ground, they cut his ear and it bled.
Like wrestlers do.
Like wrestlers do that all the time, like that, right? They always razor blade their forehead and it starts to bleed. Sure. He was down on the ground for a while. You don't know if like,
yeah, maybe.
Seth's
Who knows?
Seth's getting really angry. Always. Seth, I'm just talking for fun. I don't believe
that's speculating.
Yeah. I think that it's you don't know. There's so much stuff because it's like over the years of the government in general for fucking decades. Do you think they tell you the truth with everything that goes on?
Oh, never.
And with this, it's like, dude, there was an assassination attempt on the former president, like on a presidential candidate. It is so tense in this country. It is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
It's so tense. It's so sad because it's like we are so fucking split. It's insane. And now he is more popular than ever. And that motherfucker is going to run with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is going to be big. And I think that he is going to win. I think he's going to win significantly.
Sure.
I
think it can. Do you think it can unify the country at all?
That's what scares me. I have my own thing that like now that the Democrats know how big of a fucking shitbag sandstorm they're in right now with Biden and like they're having super PACs pull out $90 million a year. They're having those pull out. Like what happens if they just throw their hands up and say, you know what? Trump is now more popular than ever. It's going to happen. Run with it. The dude's just going to take it and run, win the election. And then what's going to happen? The people are going to suffer because then the mayhem, say he gets in 2025, he's inaugurated back in, and then they're going to start pulling some crazy bullshit. And just all kind of mayhem breaks loose in the country in 2025. Like they could be like, fuck it, put them in. And then they're going to find a way to screw something up in 2025.
Yeah.
Like
set them up for a fall,
and it could be like, whether it's staged, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. It's like, well, let's look at what's occurring, what's actually happening. The guy's getting more popular than ever. And it is intense in this country. You got people saying, like it's the other side's like, oh, we're upset that they missed him. It's like, dude, that is
I know.
I know.
that's
I've seen that
People
shit.
maddening.
people making videos losing their shit that they missed.
Like, dude, you
it's nuts, man.
can't do that,
Dude.
Like,
I seen some
But isn't that like hate?
I seen
Like,
some
isn't that hate
Democratic
speech?
analysts that are literally on TV going, he kind of deserved it. He's been talking shit for 8 years. I'm like, holy fuck.
Right.
That's
With
what I
that
mean, like-
mentality, then everyone should be getting shot who's ever talked shit.
Hate speech isn't illegal in the US though, is it, Paul?
Hate speech? I have no idea.
Inciting violences.
Isn't that kind of like, I guess you could justify.
Saying that you wish someone died is not inciting.
No, I
violence.
know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
But
because Paul was saying, like,
But
is
isn't
that
that a pretty close line where you're like, I wish the
Everybody's
assassin
done.
didn't miss when he shot him? Like you're kind
No,
of
I
splitting
think-
hairs here now.
I think it's got to be pretty clear cut.
well,
Yeah.
that's where the
I think
division
you're allowed to say that, no
comes in.
problem.
That's where the
Yeah.
division comes into play of how divided of a country we are,
Yeah.
which is upsetting because they're going to use it because it's getting views. Dude, how many people you think that turned on the news on Saturday that haven't
Oh
turned
yeah,
on
For
the news?
sure.
Yeah.
Views were through the roof.
For sure.
Yeah, no,
Through
I
the
think the
roof.
chance of Trump losing is like almost zero at this point.
It is
Well,
not
it's
fun.
funny because Paul was saying maybe it's the media, like the media donors and the media people, and I was like, they're the ones who benefit the most from Trump winning. Their ratings went through the fucking roof when he was president.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, what happens if now they're looking at this and being like, yeah, let's run with this, dude.
Yeah, but like it depends who's like where the money for these media companies is coming from, you know? So it's like it could be a money thing in that side of like a publicity, but also could be a money side in terms of donors and
Well,
sponsors. And
If we're gonna put our conspiracy hats on for 2 seconds, then we'll get away from politics. I was saying that if it was something that was planned, I would point to military industrial complex first or something connected to it because
On the Trump wars.
Trump is known for getting out of wars instead of starting them.
Right.
So if his main part of his platform is getting out of Ukraine or whatever, then that's not something they want. So I'm like, if we were going to go down that road and be crazy, that's the way I would go.
yeah, but
You
you
guys
think
think-
if it's the industrial, like the military in some regard, you think they'd get someone that could fucking hit him in the head.
That's exactly what I
right,
said.
yeah.
I said that to Paul. I
They
said
would
that
miss.
exact thing to
It's like,
Paul.
look,
I said,
Right.
yeah.
If
You guys-
the thing is, if this is somewhere like where, say again, we're playing with the side that he actually was shot, not went down and nicked his
Yeah.
ear for blood, and there was
Yeah. Of
Say
course.
there actually was a bullet that hit him in the ear. To hit from that distance and just hit the ear with like the risk to reward, like if you accidentally kill him when you're not supposed to,
Yeah.
it's like it's not even worth ever taking that shot.
Right.
But like, to hit that head from that distance isn't really that hard. There's a 100 million people that could do that
Yeah.
shot. You know?
Right.
Do you-
You know, from a couple hundred yards, 150 to 400
184 yards.
I think
That's not a hard shot at all. You
I
know?
think the main reason people are going on about this stage shit is mostly because there's a lot of footage about people seeing him on the roof like 2-3 minutes before
Yeah.
anything happened. So they're like, how come nobody fucking did anything when we were telling everybody he was there?
And a
Yeah,
cop
So I
went
think
up
that's
there
what
when
I
he
think
shot
that's
them.
what's propping up these conspiracy things more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me, do you guys think there would be another attempt?
I don't know.
Yep.
Interesting.
Paul, or sorry, Mike. Mike, you've been pretty silent. You're the conspiracy expert. What do you think?
I don't think there's any conspiracy going on. I think there was an attempt made, and not attempt, and it was allowed to happen.
You care to explain that any
You guys
further?
don't understand, like, I'm sure you do, but like, you don't make an appearance at a place like that without that place being secured from every fucking angle possible.
Yeah,
You don't have
that's
snipers with a guy in their sights and be like, oh, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's he doing there? Oh,
Well,
what's he like? And not accounting for every rooftop or every fucking vantage point where a shot could get fired at any moment. They don't have any other job to do but that. They're not like,
Right.
oh, what's happening in the crowd?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it was allowed to happen. And everyone wants to debate this and that. Like if a
I
shot was fired or whatever, like that shit was, if that shit really happened, it was allowed to happen and they had help to do it. There's
Well,
no
isn't
way
there
it
also
happened.
kind of like Trump was even, they were trying to like deny him Secret Service because he wasn't an active
Yeah.
president anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the Secret Service were the ones at this, like, you know, and you can see there's videos of them on some of the other rooftops and the shot happened. There's like a lot of delays and like,
Yeah.
well, it was very sketchy.
Can I tell you guys the funniest part? So apparently, like you guys saw, there was like 2 women, like Secret Service agents.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Why are these people Secret Service agents? They can't even cover his body. Like he's too tall."
Well, I
So-
heard,
he shows up at the RNC with all dudes. Like,
Well,
Really?
well, I heard, I'm not going to say from who or where, but those people, those other people that were on there that were not doing a good job. That's like that's like just to make sure that we are employing, they're employing and
The
giving.
DI shit.
DEI. That's what I read. I was like, there's DEI hiring for you right there. I was
That's
like,
exactly, no, that was told from a solid
Really?
source that was like, no, that exists, and that actually happened. Like, dude, she couldn't even holster her firearm. Like, you got to give me a
I
fucking.
saw that. Repeatedly
He was right.
trying to find the fucking.
Well,
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
Mike was saying too. Like, I like hunting and I drive places and I'm always on the lookout for deer and everything. I can, as I'm driving 60 miles an hour down the road, I can glance over into a field and be like, oh, look, a deer. Oh, look, there's buck. And it's 200-300 yards away. And I'll be like, oh, look, oh yeah. Yeah,
Right.
nice. Like, I mean, it's just, it's,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
mean to tell me a trained professional wasn't standing there like that was their specific job, looking and being like, oh, look, from 184 yards away on the rooftop that I should be looking at, there's a gentleman right there.
Well, there was Secret Service
you
on
can
one
do
of those rooftops with optics. Like they were there with like rifles and optics. Like
Well, the newest report that I saw was that a police officer actually went up on the roof, saw him. The guy turned and pointed his AR at him, and the police officer went back down.
Yeah.
And it was moments before the shots went off.
That's fucking crazy. That's what I mean.
Why did
What's
you
going on?
fucking
It's like,
shoot the guy? Like
that was confirmed, I believe.
was-
It's
because
always
he was-
interesting too how there's never anyone to take to court or put on trial or find
Right.
out what happened. There's
The
always
only
a
guy-
dead body.
The only guy who knows anything's dead.
Mike, I love you, man. Mike's the best.
and do we know how did
It's,
the
it's
person,
fucking convenient, man. Like
For sure.
it's convenient.
the person that got killed in the crowd, was that like from the shot that was gone past Donald and hit someone in the crowd?
I don't
That's what
know.
they're saying.
Apparently,
He
it
was
was
a firefighter.
firefighter protecting his family.
Yeah, he dove
guess.
over his wife and
Yeah.
daughter.
Sad,
Well, in
man.
a crowd that
Okay.
large, that many shots going off, someone's gonna get hit.
For
Yeah.
sure. Well, we were talking about like a
know
surprise.
where they were coming from. Like if it was intentionally fired into the crowd, or if it was missing Donald and hit someone in the crowd.
There's a lot of creepy footage if you look behind when it's
I've
going on.
seen
There's,
some of that.
there's a woman that literally doesn't get phased and then takes her camera out and fucking
Yeah.
starts filming. She
Yeah.
doesn't care that bullets are flying.
A
Yeah.
lot of people.
She has
don't
no
really
concern for her
react.
health.
But I
I
asked
think a lot of
somebody,
people didn't realize what was going on.
I asked
They said it was
somebody that.
fireworks.
I said, like, why do you? Yeah, a lot of people, I guess, thought it was fireworks, so they didn't like dive for cover.
You know,
Yeah.
if I'm at a Trump rally, I'm probably gonna think anything that sounds like a gunshot is a gunshot, though. Like I think I'd be on high alert.
All right, let's move on. No more politics. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, but imagine what would have happened if he had got shot in the head and killed.
Oh man, different
There
world
would be-
today.
there
Imagine
would
where
be
we'd be
riot-
today,
there'd be
right
chaos.
now.
Civil War.
World right now.
There'd be
Civil
chaos.
War.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Which member of the bro chat would you give a foot massage to while they give you one in return during the full length of a million miles away?
Oh,
Oh God, gotta throw that wrinkle in there.
I
I'd have to pick you, Fouad, if I'm most comfortable with you.
don't want to touch your feet, Paul.
I
man.
know, but you're comfortable with me
You
too.
got bunions and shit.
I
Fuck.
got some
he doesn't
nasty
want to touch
toes.
my
I
feet.
got that
I'll tell you
towel
that
foot.
much.
I got the tile foot. I got extra long toes that I can't explain.
I guess I'm going with Paul then. That means Ian, who are you gonna massage?
I guess I'll take Seth. I feel like he probably takes care of his feet. He's probably using that gay soap on his feet. You know?
And they are very nice. I take care
Mike,
of
let
them.
me see your foot.
No, you don't want to. I got a crack on anyway.
Would you rather go full vegan or full carnivore for a prep? Full carnivore.
Carnivore.
Have more bodybuilders been dying as social media is showing it, or is it just because social media exists and we have an easier access to that info now? I am just going to say that, and I'm not blaming anything on anything, but there's been 20% higher. There's been a 20% increase in unexplainable deaths in the last like year or two, I think.
Bodybuilders in general population.
No, in general population.
I say the past.
I wonder why.
I'm not saying anything,
Then
Mike.
say
I'm
3
not
or
saying-
4 years.
Yeah, and you read all the time about like the highest rate of cancer among 40-year-olds ever in the last couple of years. Like, oh, I
I mean,
wonder why.
Jacoby Jones just died too. What did he die from?
No idea. I don't
Jacoby
know that.
Jones, football player,
40 years old.
Really?
If you could prove to the world that one conspiracy theory was 100% real, which one would you pick, and what do you think the consequences would be?
9/11 would definitely be the most cool one to try and prove. You know,
I'd love to be able to prove that.
like in aliens.
I'd love to be able to prove that the moon landing was fake.
Mm.
A good one.
It wouldn't matter that much, though. You know,
It would though. It'd be like, you motherfuckers ate that up for 60 fucking years, really?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, at least with 9/11, like a lot of people were killed. This is like a big thing with like the moon landing. It's like, man, you know.
I know, but nobody's going to go to jail anyway. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Even if you proved it was like bullshit, no one's going to jail.
It would be nice to like prove some like Area 51, like fucking.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like he's like Area 51 guys that come out and be like, they've got aliens there. I know it. Never. Yeah, this guy's whack. You know? That would be nice to prove some of those.
Or like
Most-
Bigfoot or something.
Oh, that's a good one.
Did you
I'd
say?
love
Yeah,
if the Loch Ness
Bigfoot.
monster or something was like real.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Loch Ness.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Anything like supernatural alien like that is gonna
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Is being gay a choice, or are you born that way?
Well, I don't
Paul's
think that
got a
there's been,
great insight on this. Paul's got a
well.
great insight on this.
I don't think there's ever been identified as a gene or anything that makes you gay. So I think there's those who would argue that it's a choice. However,
Who are those? Are you one of
well,
those?
those who believe that. No, I'm somewhere in between. I'm somewhere in between because I've seen, and I think you guys all have too. I've seen kids who were like young kids where you're like, that kid's gay.
When we talked about this last time, I think
I've never
It's
thought
like,
that in my
Paul's
life.
I have.
You see Dave's son? Fucking gay shit.
I've never thought that
I'm
in my
telling you.
life. I've never looked
I
at a kid
have.
once in my life. Be like, that kid's a homo. I've never once.
Just-
thought that.
Paul's just looking at it. Paul's just looking at Tony like,
No,
Oh my
I'm telling you.
God.
you see
I've
how he
seen
just
some
flipped his
kids.
hair back?
I don't know why this made me think of it, but have you guys watched Ricky Stenicki yet?
Yeah,
Oh, I heard it's
great.
hilarious.
Oh, is that a
Great.
cartoon?
Amazing.
No,
It's
it's
amazing.
John Cena.
Oh,
John
no, I
Cena
haven't. No,
and
no.
Zach Efron,
Yeah.
Zac Efron and Andrew Santino. Yeah,
What's it on?
Right.
Apple.
Amazon. Yeah.
Was it? Oh
Funny?
yeah, it is.
Prime.
Yeah.
I heard it's funny as fuck.
That's
Yeah,
so
great.
I'll
funny.
give it a
man.
watch.
John Cena's character is fucking amazing.
I love John Cena.
I don't love John Cena, but he's good in that movie.
He's great in that movie.
So what did we decide, Seth? Is it are you born that way, or do you choose
I
it?
don't know, man. I think
Don't
that,
fucking try and get out of this one.
all right, cool. Hey, listen. I'm not gay. I like women. I like butts. I like tits.
Nobody asked you about your
I
gayness.
like pussy.
You don't have to tell us that you're not gay before you.
pussy.
Here's the thing. Though. At no point in time am I ever like,
pussy.
man, I can't wait to suck a dick. Like I'm not like, oh my
But we're
god.
not asking you if you're gay.
If there's somebody that feels that way, I'm like, man, if you like, I'm not having a penis in or around my mouth. And if there's people out there that are like, man, I really like it, I'm like,
I really liked them.
Yeah, but
I mean,
are they born that way, or did somebody talk
Is
them
it a
into it?
choice?
listen, you ain't talking me into sucking no dick. Dude.
Well,
That's what I mean.
Okay,
I
but wait.
think you're born that way.
I just wanna-
think you're
I
born that way.
I just want to point to this stat. Apparently, there are more, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, but apparently there's like 25% or 24% or something like that of Gen Z claims to be
Yeah,
part of LGBTQ somewhere.
it's like 25% now or
I think
So
a
something.
lot
I'm
of
like-
this is like product of
It's an
environment.
agenda, man.
But
Because
that's
yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. So is it a choice? Because now like all my friends are gay, so I guess I'm gay too.
some kids for sure.
As the like, how could you be convinced that you want to suck a dick?
Because all your friends are doing it.
I've got a theory.
Normalized.
Yeah,
If
but
all your Seth, if all your
really
friends
set
in
to
high
the
school,
point where you're fantasizing about like having a man's cock in your ass is like a
Time
part.
think about it. But think about it. Think about this though. Think about it for a second.
Oh, I just can't wait to have his fucking big dick in my ass. You know? Like,
You're gonna get that clip.
Brandon,
That's gonna
Brandon,
be
you gotta
clipped
Yeah,
right
clip
there.
it. Make sure you clip that
for
one.
sure. Yeah, over and over again on a loop. I've got a theory.
I'm really happy you're wearing my shirt right now. That clip's going viral.
What is your theory, Paul?
I think some people are gay by default.
What does that mean?
what is that?
They'll
They
take
have to be?
whatever they just
They have
need
no
a
other
companion.
option.
Oh,
They
they're
just need a
desperate.
companion, and they'll
Yeah,
take.
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, and I
comes their
think
way.
actually on the other side of that, like I know some
That's
dudes
probably
that,
true.
like,
I know
I know
it's
some
true.
dudes that are like the guys that fuck like a million girls, but they get to the point where they're so hypersexual that they end up just fucking anything, you know?
See, I know the
Yeah.
opposite.
Like where they're
I know.
fucking trannies, they're fucking dudes, they're fucking 10,000 girls. Like I know guys like that. They're like good looking guys that sleep
Yeah.
with a lot of
It's
people.
like when you start
Yeah.
watching porn and it's like big boob porn, you end up watching like midget fucks a horse kind of porn.
Yeah.
So
You guys
dudes
so-
don't for me anymore.
I think it's the opposite in what I'm talking about, Ian. I think some people like, I've been around. I've worked a lot of jobs and stuff. I know a lot of people, and I think people get lonely in life when they get older, and they'll take what comes their way, whether it's male.
Why do you think a lot of women go
late life lesbians?
That because
sure.
they hate men after a certain amount of time, because they probably got fucked over by somebody.
Maybe their husbands were so shit. They're like, you know what?
So they hate all men now.
You know that lesbian relationships are like one of the highest of like domestic abuse and like.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look, even if
too crazy.
But wait a minute.
I love how he says it under his breath, like we're not going to catch it. Which was
I didn't say it.
But wait a minute, though. No matter how much you hated your wife, you wouldn't like get divorced at like 50 or 60 and then be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna fuck a dude now. Like,
yeah, but because this is the difference, though. Women, I think a lot of relationships for women is very like emotion based differently than men. So they're looking for like an emotional partner, which is just a female where there's very little sexual component to it. You know?
So they're basically they're basically roommates. So like Paul, if we both got divorced, me and you would move in together. We just wouldn't touch each other.
We'd be like, remember that old show, The Odd Couple? Those two guys who live together.
You're really showing your age now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think with these late life lesbians, it'll be like one of them that is like a fake lesbo and one that's a lifetime lesbo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
is that an actual term? Late life lesbians?
Yeah, those are more your like
triple L's.
Ian just made that up.
I'm gonna put that on a shirt. I'm gonna put that on a shirt.
My next door neighbor, right next door here is one. She has like kids, like adult children, and I think she was married to a man, and now she lives next door with a woman. Yeah,
Mike, you actually are a late life lesbian. You can put that on a shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I kind of just
it's a common thing.
You guys might have just swayed my thing about like if you're born that way, but I mean, I think some are. But then, like, okay, so I was reading these studies about having imprinting on children, and from the age of I think 4 to 8, 4 to 7, or 3 to 7, that time frame, a kid absorbs more information into their head than at any other period of time, that same period of time ever in their entire life.
Yeah.
So like think if you're going to imprint on a child or get them to persuade or get them to think a certain way, you do it between the ages of 4 and 7, or you're going to have a massive impact on how their head works and what they think and how everything goes in life. So from 4 to 8 years old, 3 to 8, 4 to 9, that time frame.
I mean, if it's a perfect picture that's behind him. How many of us think that any children that Clint Eastwood could raise would turn out gay?
None.
Not unless they're born that way.
See, I think Clint Eastwood could have 6,000 children. They would all be straight as an arrow.
They're gonna have Clint Eastwood's genes, which are
and he would just raise them like fucking straight as an arrow.
No, but that doesn't mean anything. Wait a minute.
I think the likelihood
would be far less. Straight guy could have a kid, and he's got straight genes. He could still have a gay kid. That doesn't mean anything.
Do you think 50 years ago? Do you think 50 years ago that same guy could have?
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I think that
that kid is 50 years ago. The kid is still gay. He's not telling anybody.
That's what I mean. Like,
well, then you don't know if he's gay or not.
No,
they're genetics.
Listen, let's say there's 1 million gay people right now in Canada. There's probably still 1 million gay people 50 years ago. Just nobody fucking knew it.
Yeah,
but then that goes against the statistic that you just said about 24% of.
I know it does, but that's the counter argument. Is like, hey,
how many people? I mean, if you talk to gay people like that were saying they're born that way, at least the ones I've spoken to are like, I mean, I tried not to like dudes, and I'm like, oh, how'd that go? I really like dudes. And I'm like, oh,
is that exactly what you did? Like,
how'd you like it?
Yeah, I was like, all right, cool. Like, how can I argue with you? How can I be like, were you straight or this? It's like trying to figure out, like I said, like, I don't dream about giant dicks or,
want to make sure you guys know I don't dream about giant dicks.
Okay, can we move on, please?
Moving on.
Dick dreams tonight.
Moderate, no. Will the Ohio Arnold surpass the Olympia in 5 years?
As
just to piss them off. Yeah, it's going to be way better
as the premier show of the league.
Yeah. Well,
I think it will.
Well, I think it could be a bigger event and have maybe more money?
Or will it be? No.
Isn't it already a bigger event?
Well, it's definitely a bigger event scale wise. Yeah.
Because of all
because all the different events and
You don't
different
think it'll ever
sports.
be the prestige title? No, never.
I don't think so either. I think the
Okay.
powers that be want the Olympia to be.
I agree.
What it is.
And I think there's just too much of a legacy behind the
Yeah.
Olympian title. I don't think you can take it away from it now.
I disagree. Okay.
I don't
moving
think
on.
no matter what you created or how much money you threw at it or how big of an event you made, I don't think you could ever take away like the Olympics not being like the prestige event in like athletics, you know?
I don't know if that's a good comparison though. You're talking about a bodybuilding show, and
Yeah,
the
but
reason
it's
and the
bodybuilding,
reason
so
the
it
reason.
promotes
But wait a
Oh,
minute.
it's the same word.
But hold on a minute. The reason the Olympia is always the best is mostly because you got the best shit for winning it.
Which I'm
Also,
looking forward to.
you also got the prestige, sure.
No,
But
but
I'm-
it's because it's the only show of the season that's the Arnold's an invitational. It's
Let me
not
ask you this. Let me
not
ask
the
you this.
best of the best.
Let me
you
ask
know?
you this. Let me ask you this. The Arnold starts giving away $10 million prize money and a fucking Ferrari and a mansion.
Sure.
Are you still going to say the same thing?
Yes.
No, because every
Yes.
bodybuilder is going to do that show, and they're going to want to do that show. And
Maybe,
they're gonna,
but in the same regard, they also are letting guys do their pro debut with the Arnold. So it's like
yeah, but I think the bigger the show gets, the more they're going to weed that out. Like the show itself is going to change.
maybe, but in part when it's a show that is invite only and they're using that as a tool to like pick popular characters in a sense, that it's never going to be as elite as something where you have an entire season of qualification based off one show. You know,
Yeah, but that can change too. Like
If that were to change, then maybe.
yeah, but all I'm saying is
I think you won't change that.
what I'm
Yeah, I
saying
don't
to
think
you.
so
What I'm
either.
saying to you is, I don't think Arnold's taking a backseat to anybody, and I think they're going to do whatever the fuck they have to do to make that show the biggest show of the year.
And I agree it'll be the biggest show, but I don't think it'll be the biggest title.
I don't know.
I'll tell you, they better start
Anyone
making
will ever
trading
say-
cards.
Because it also like it's going to change it. Like it's going to be like, what are we going to have like the pre and the post Arnold era of like guys that now have a bunch of Arnold wins as being more prestigious as Olympia wins, but then back in the old days, guys like Phil had more Olympia wins and that was more prestige. Like it's like that's never going to be that way. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the rivalry.
I'm not willing to rule out. I'm not willing to rule out anything Arnold does.
I
Because
think
the
that
guy-
Arnold will make it a bigger, better, more lucrative, awesome event that a lot of athletes want to do, but I don't think it'll ever be the Olympia because it doesn't have
It's like this. Derek wins the Olympia, right? And he's like, I got $400,000, and then competitor X wins the Arnold in 2026, and he's got $1 million in his pocket. Like, okay, good. You got a trophy. I got $1 million. Eventually, that's going to start to pull fans and be like, yeah, they're doing something way bigger over there. Like it's not going to happen in 1 year. It might happen in 10 years. It might happen in 15 years. But eventually people are going to go, that show over there is paying double or triple. What the fuck? Like that's the show.
if it ever gets to that point, which I don't think it would, but even then, man, I don't know. The Olympia just has too much like legacy and prestige to the title itself. I think that you'll still get lots of guys that go do the Arnold to just win the prize, but I don't think they're doing it because they're trying to win the title. They're trying to win the prize. And I think that's where the Olympia is differentiated. I think guys aren't doing the Olympia because they want to win 400K, which maybe some are, but like they're trying to do it because they want to win the Olympia title.
I
You know?
agree with you. I agree with you. But I think because the shows are still close in comparison as far as shows go,
I don't think
That-
the lineups are even close.
dude, the Arnold is usually
Dude, I came second to the goddamn Arnold. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
but not all of them are like that. I mean, you did
Well-
the one you did had nobody in it. So
I knew that was coming.
No, but like in seriousness, like
he started it. He started it.
I mean, I can name a bunch of those. There's
No, there
years
is.
like that all the time. Look, there's
There is.
also years that there's weak Olympias, but when you have the qualification throughout the entire season, where it's like a win and you're in, I think it sets up the Olympia to always be the prestige.
I'm not
event.
arguing with you right now. I think you're right. But when you say always, that's where I have a problem. Because I just think because of
I just don't think money can buy a title
that's tough.
because
I
I
think
think,
if- I think if the
people will
gap-
do the Arnold to win the money, but not the title.
I think if the gap becomes big enough, it can start to mean more.
I think Jacoby does a good job of balancing both shows and they complement each other. And I think the rivalry is great for the sport.
That's very
think one-
politically correct.
So I know I was gonna say, who
No, I
the
do
fuck
think so.
invited the nice guy?
Look what it's done as far as money goes.
Someone's
I mean,
trying to
it's-
get a judging spot.
But really, I do think
Paul's like, I can't make
there's
fun of either one because I really want to judge both.
no- I do want to judge both.
You want
But-
you want a Dan Solomon trading card while you're at it?
Oh, don't,
Signed?
Please, let's move on, please. Let's move on.
Don't cut that out. Don't cut that out.
But I like how we have the Mr. Olympia, then we have the second biggest show, the Arnold, and they're 4 months apart, 6 months apart,
Second
whatever it
biggest
is.
show. Exactly.
Yeah.
At what point was y'all's first plateau in terms of scale, weight, strength, and what did y'all change to get past it? I don't know, man. I hit plateaus everywhere in my career.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't one.
When I couldn't get past, I just retired.
Iain hit one plateau and he quit. He's like, fuck this. That's hilarious. No, man, you're gonna hit plateaus the whole way through. There's times when your weight might not change for fucking 2 months, but you
And I think people need to also take a second to realize you cannot progress in strength forever.
or
Yeah.
size
Just
or weight.
One day you'll be squatting 1,000 pounds and bench pressing 600 pounds for 40 reps, and
Right.
you know it's like you can't just continually get stronger forever. It's not possible.
You know what the interesting thing about you saying that is, I think for about the last 6 years of my career, I was in the 250s on stage, but I got better, like not at the very end, but near the end. So like
You were fine.
you could say you have plateau in like your weight. You can say you have plateau in like your strength. You could have plateau in like whatever your performance, your stage, like whatever metric you want to use. It doesn't mean you can't get better.
Well, yeah,
You
I
can-
mean, and I think the proof is in the pudding, and like you can look at actually probably the majority of bodybuilders. I wouldn't even say just some. I would say the vast majority. Their best showings are never their heaviest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like Jay Cutler's best is in the 250, 252, 255 range. He competed upwards of 275. I've competed upwards of 265. It definitely wasn't my best showings. And even if the condition was comparable, the look starts to change. So I think, yeah, like just focusing on like, well, I'm not getting heavier. That doesn't mean you're not getting better. So I agree with you there. Yeah.
Does Paul's garage smell like weed all the time?
Yes.
I just cleaned it though. Just cleaned it last week.
Okay, last question. $5 million in the bank and walk away, or keep on with the businesses and the podcast?
Well, that's for you then.
$5 million. Well, no, let's pretend everybody has a 5 million. Or what you're doing currently.
Taking the
Walk
5
away
million.
from working at Customs. Fuck yeah, I'll walk away.
I don't know. 5 million doesn't go far these days, but I think I could buy a
Well,
house.
for you, if you're giving up your businesses and stuff, then maybe it doesn't make as much sense. But like, what am I giving up? You know?
Yeah. But with $5 million, I could probably buy a house out in the county somewhere for like $500,000 or $1 million.
Yeah. See, I don't own a business, so like the question doesn't really apply to me. Yeah.
Seth, what do you think?
I mean,
Do I get to keep everything I have currently?
Yeah, you just lose
Possessions?
Hostile and you lose the podcast for you. That's why the question's really only directed at you.
And then I get 5 million.
I mean, the question could be directed at
Basically,
you.
basically assume that you sell your business for that much and walk away. That's how you should look at it.
Yeah, you're not selling your business for $5 million, are you?
No, but I would like to have $5 million.
Yeah.
So just say you're going to do it and then back out last second. Take the money.
Yeah.
Fuck, you fooled you.
Okay. By the way, Paul, last week was Tom Hanks' birthday.
Yeah, I got some messages about that. How old is he?
I don't know.
I think he's in his 60s.
Let's see. One last question. Wow, this is a long one. Thoughts on Anavar only cycle? Paul, I think, or Mike, I think this is your client.
Who?
Bella Nicole.
Oh, Bella, yeah.
If you needed to take a shit, if you guys could see the picture of this girl, you'd be like, how is this girl asking this question? She looks like the
What'd she say?
sweetest.
What'd she say?
If you needed to take a shit, but it wasn't coming out, do you wait it out on the toilet or leave and try later?
Depends on what I'm doing.
I'm pushing with all my might.
I don't think it's a good idea, Ian.
I'm pushing until my fucking blood, my head's about to explode.
That's why he has hemorrhoids all the time.
You ever had an
It's
anal
like-
fissure? You ever had an anal fissure before, Ian?
I have.
They're brutal, as you well know. That. You don't want to blow your ass out. I would. I'd come back later.
Ugh. If
know
I'm
what's
sitting down, I'm waiting, and I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna push or wait until something.
You know what? But you know
Younger
She
what?
lady
asked
would've
that
did
question just because she knew you'd read it. That's why.
But you know what sucks about coming back later? If you stop and only a little bit came out, you have like a really horrible like 18 wiper.
Yeah, you can't.
Yes, you do.
Twice in
You
a row.
do.
And then you got to come back later and do it again. Your asshole's burnt from fucking
Either
wiping.
way,
worst.
you're fucked, I think. But I think preventative wise, your best bet is clean it up, come back later when you're
Paul. What's the most amount of pot Paul has smoked in one session?
in one session.
Yeah.
Man, we've had some pretty crazy sessions going before where a group of people, like even just a little while ago in Toronto, one of the shows, you got a group of people like 4 or 5 of us and like 10 joints get passed around over a couple of hours and everyone's pretty fucking baked.
Man,
You gotta hang out.
You're a big smoker.
You gotta hang out with us.
Seth,
No, I'm not.
I had no idea Paul smoked as much as he did for like the first
5 years.
First 5 years of our friendship. Finally, one day, I forget even how I found out. One day he was like, I think we were leaving the gym or going to the gym. He's like, I'm high right now. I'm like, you're high right now? he's like, I'm high. He's like, I'm high all the time. I go, what? He goes, yeah.
Let me clarify. I'm high at the gym all the time.
And then he told me like,
not at work.
I said, so I literally
worked.
was like, I looked at him. I'm like, so this is you high? Like, this is just how you are? He goes, yeah. He's like, it's just like my lifestyle. I'm like, okay. So,
I was born this way.
I felt
It's kind of like microdosing, Fouad. You want to just keep a nice even...
almost like betrayed. I'm like, this guy's been fucking high this whole time. I'm like, fuck.
It's kind of like microdosing. You just keep your stable. You don't want to.
I can never tell if Paul is high or not.
No.
Pretty.
No.
You can't tell.
I can tell only if he's really high.
Oh yeah, like remember that time when Hunter got me really high on that?
Think of that clip when I was on the podcast. I was really baked. What was the one with the fucking?
Oh, I don't know, but I remember you were so fucked that time. I can't remember. You're like,
and I started dying laughing about when Mike said the makes you a lesbian.
Yeah.
You started bursting out for no fucking reason.
He's like, if you have 2 gay parents, and what was the question again?
It was if you had 2 moms.
Yeah.
And they're lesbians, what are you? And I said, I'm a lesbian.
Yeah. And I was so baked, and you could see in my eyes on the podcast. I started so hard.
Okay, last one. Fouad and Iain, if your wives had decided to stay in bodybuilding like you guys, do you think it would have been harder to handle, or would it have been more beneficial to your relationships?
It would have made absolutely no difference.
First of all, my wife wasn't a pro. She did 2 or 3 shows for fun. Ian's wife is a pro, so that's a little different. Personally, I think it would have made a difference for me. I was way too selfish as a bodybuilder to have to deal with like it being her turn and her show, and if I'm trying to get ready for my show, I'm like, I don't want to hear it. I'm doing my show. Yeah. I just and it's a horrible trait. Look, it was totally fucking selfish, but that's why our relationship worked out, because she was selfish about her work. But we had totally different jobs. She worked in an office and I worked in the gym. So we were both able to be selfish when we wanted to. I think if we were both selfish and doing the same thing, it might have been a disaster.
The whole time I competed, I never had a girlfriend. I would purposely end relationships before prep started.
Unless not the one that was like hooking you up.
Like paying for my living, my life.
Paying for your gear. Yeah.
Yeah, there was my first girlfriend was a stripper. She
one that was
my first
all my
girlfriend.
bills while
My
I did
first-
whatever I wanted.
my first bodybuilding girlfriend. So yeah, I lived off her for like 16 weeks.
It's really no different. Me and Melissa, like we've done Olympias together. Like it's not,
Yeah. I imagine Melissa's pretty even all the time. Like I couldn't see her.
I did an Olympia with me, Chris, and Melissa all in one.
But can I ask you this, Iain? Because Melissa seems like the kind of person who like would still take care of you even if she was getting ready for her show.
No, back then, like I used to prep most of my food and stuff. It was later in my career that she started like kind of taking the reins.
I prepped all my own food, so that's not kind of what I meant. Like Summer didn't wait on me.
No, it was like it gradually got more later in my career. Yeah.
Okay. So probably more when she retired than she started.
Yeah, because when I was the one already bodybuilding before her and Chris and like us all got into it. So I was used to, like, I was prepping my meals and I kind of did all that. And if anything, I was prepping all the food. Like I'd cook all the chicken, all the rice, and then she would eat off that too.
Right,
and then
right,
over
right.
time, it was be like I just stopped cooking and she would just prepare stuff. Yeah.
I think when I say selfish, I don't mean like actually doing stuff. I meant like when I compete, I get really isolated and quiet, and I don't want
Me too.
to deal with anybody else's emotions. I'm just like, I need to just kind of deal with my own shit because I get fucked up when I'm dieting.
Yes, and we would just be quiet. And we would just sit on the couch and not talk to each other. You know.
It worked. It
All right.
worked.
Yeah.
All right. Last one for everybody. Fuck, marry, kill. Salma Hayek, Penelope Cruz, and Sofia Vergara.
Oh,
the Latinas.
Latin.
I am gonna marry Penelope Cruz. I'm gonna fuck Sofia Vergara, and I'm gonna kill Salma Hayek.
I think I'm on the
Kill
exact-
Salma Hayek.
I think I'm on the
Whoa,
exact same page.
whoa.
So such a classy lady.
She's a sweet lady.
What's wrong with you guys? Fuck you guys. I
A
don't care what you
nice
think.
lady.
It's my
Yeah.
pick. I can fuck
Penelope
whoever.
Cruz?
I couldn't.
Sophia
muster up
Vergara? Are
the-
you kidding me? Are you gonna kill her?
Oh, she's annoying as fuck.
No,
with
yeah,
that voice.
but that's why he's just fucking her though.
No, she'll fuck you. She won't let you. Won't fuck you. She'll fuck you.
Yeah, no, you got to marry Penelope
Fuck
Cruz.
you.
Sofia Vergara, kill someone.
I'm Mary Selma.
Me too.
F Sophia, kill Penelope.
Have you guys? Is Penelope Cruz the one in Spanglish?
Yeah, I'm begging her.
Yeah.
He's not in Spanglish, dude. That's some other chick entirely. Isn't it?
The girl that was in Glow.
I know what she looks like. I don't know what she was
Is
in,
she
though.
the wife or the girl? She's the Spanish translator. She's not in Spanglish. That's another girl.
Who's this?
That's not
her.
her.
Oh,
That's
no.
not her.
Or her.
She's in Blow.
She
She's
looks
in
just
Blow.
like that, though.
Yeah, in Blow. Yeah, type in Penelope Cruz. I mean, she's older now, but
She looks just
That
like
was
that.
a dangerous thing to
oh yeah,
type
come
in.
on,
to be
she's
honest.
Blow. Yeah.
I blow now.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Salma
she's
Hayek. Look at her.
for
I'd
sure.
marry
Hey, look at
Salma
Selma Hayek in what's that vampire movie with George Clooney?
Till dawn.
Look at Selma
That's
Hayek
still done.
in Frida.
Yeah, she's the hottest. Frida.
Oh, go back to like younger Selma Hayek.
This is
Yeah.
gross, dude. Come on. That
Yeah,
looks-
Gross.
I'm not into
Younger.
it.
She's in her fucking 50s there. She's 56.
this looks like someone's maid.
56.
Go back to Dust Till Dawn.
Yeah, from dusk till dawn.
Yeah, okay, she's hot in that, but
I watched Django Unchained the other day. It was great. Okay, I'm sorry, not even close.
That's airbrush.
you got
Look
a
at
big
this fucker.
like, young one of her too, though.
Look at her. Even old, she's hot. Look at her.
How old is she, Fouad?
That's a classy fucking woman. Look at this fucking. She can even wear a hijab.
That's what did it for you, eh? That's what did it for you.
Once I saw the hijab, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the
She's
one.
Mary's material.
Okay, wait. Let's go just for shits and giggles.
What's her age?
Yeah, look at that one. That's the best one. Okay. Wait, we need to do
I
something.
think I find Penelope Cruz the hottest still, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at.
Man, what a lineup though, huh?
Yeah.
Who's young though, for sure.
Cool. We're just silent. Just silence.
Yeah, we're all mesmerized.
Nobody's talking. Nobody's nobody's saying anything.
That was a meme. All of us are like, oh, nice. Yeah, keep rolling. I'm enjoying myself.
That was good.
Okay. So what do we decide? I gave mine. Ian,
I said I'm the same as you.
Mike,
I said mine.
what's yours? Say it again. I forgot.
Marry Selma.
Yeah.
F Sophia and kill Penelope.
Paul.
I'm gonna kill Selma. I forgot
Whoa.
how old she was. I forgot how old she was.
It's in their prime, dude. It's not.
Yeah,
now.
it's not now.
Oh, they're prime, yeah.
Oh, okay, that changes it. I thought we were talking about the present day.
No one's asking you to fuck an old lady.
Okay, then I'll marry her. I'll marry her. I'm gonna kill Sofia Vergara because of her accent I find irritating. And I'm gonna fuck Penelope.
I'm marrying Penelope, fucking Salma, and killing Sophia.
Wow, we got like 4 different answers. It's crazy.
Different
If
tastes.
I'm looking at that young Selma, I might take that for the fuck though.
Mhm.
Vergara's
That's
getting
the
fucked.
popular
You
show.
watch her and some stuff. She seems like she's a little freaky deaky too. You know.
Yeah.
I think
she'd be a nice
Vergara is
wife
the
too,
most.
Liam.
I think Vergara is the most freaky deaky.
I don't think so. I think she's just
But
irritating.
what is Selma Hayek's like ethnicity? Like, what is she?
Mhm.
I think she's Egyptian or
Mexican,
something.
isn't she?
I think
I
she's
don't know.
Egyptian.
That's Selma Hayek. That sounds like it's fucking
There's some Middle Eastern in there.
something. Yeah.
She is 50% Lebanese and 50% Spanish. That's why she's hot. It's 50%
Because she's
Lebanese.
Spanish.
So-
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think that bit of Arab throws her out the window for me.
You're killing her now for sure, eh?
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, I want to see something here. Penelope Cruz. Penelope Cruz, also 50% Lebanese, 50% Spanish.
Did she
Oh, yeah.
actually?
Yeah.
How about Sofia Vergara? She's all Spanish, I think.
She's Colombian.
Straight Colombian,
Oh.
yeah.
Sofia Vergara. Also 50% Lebanese, 50%
No
Spanish.
way.
I'm
she's-
serious.
Fuck
share,
out
share
of
the
here,
screen.
dude.
Share the screen, Fouad.
What the fuck
just
you
made all
talking
these
about?
No, Salma Hayek was for sure.
Yeah, I know she is.
What was Penelope Cruz?
100% Spanish, I think. Let me go back. Yeah. Born April 28th, 74 in Spain.
In Spain, yeah.
Yeah, she is a Spanish actress. And then Vergara is Colombian and American. Okay. Paul, lead us off with a prayer. We're out of here.
Okay.
Let me
Dear
refer
leader.
to my notes.
Let us be. I actually did. I prepared something, and I have a different. I have something. We'll change up a little bit tonight. Anyway, let us bow our
Changed it up
heads.
a little from the regular, right?
Yeah. Let us bow our heads. Dear leader. So I found this excerpt today, and what I
Just read
wanted
the
to
fucking
do,
thing. You don't have to tell us.
well, what I wanted to do was read it, and then each of us give your
You
perspective on it. So we'll go around after I'm done reading it, and you tell me what you think means to you.
Okay. It's Paul's class. Paul's church class. Go ahead.
What the fuck is going
may-
on here?
You may recognize the quote. It's from
Okay, go.
from one of the great works of our generation.
Okay.
You know all there is to know, so there's no sense us going down that same old road. To beat this guy, you need speed. You don't have it.
God.
You don't get that for it.
It's Rocky 5.
It's Rocky 7. And
Oh,
your
that's
knees can't take the pounding, so hard running is out. And you got arthritis in your neck, and you've got calcium deposits on your joints, so sparring is out. So what we'll be calling on is good old-fashioned blunt force trauma, horsepower, heavy-duty cast iron, pile-driving punches that'll have to hurt so much it'll rattle his ancestors.
Is that your whole thing?
What are
What's
we
that
supposed to think about that?
So what I take from that is perseverance and courage.
Perfect.
I don't know about each of you. Maybe
Same.
need something else too.
Same.
Same Paul. Same.
Okay, well that's it. Amen.
All right. Amen. Fucking idiot.
Oh my god.
I love that. I love that quote. I love that scene from Rocky 7. It's probably because I'm getting older, and I
Yeah,
like to think that I
maybe
still
a
got
little
something in
bit,
the
yeah.
basement.
It's fucking
But-
Italians, eh?
Yeah. But Fouad knows it's one of my favorite movies.
You know,
ever.
Rocky's not a real guy, right?
But it's a real story, Mike. It's a story that I take inspiration from.
Oh,
All right.
God.
Well, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, see you guys.
See you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.